Good morning to all those of you who are on our YouTube channel. Of course, it is the final day of the JTA Education Conference, and the theme is innovating in education, innovations in education, technology, the imperative of change. It is our pleasure to be with you today and to be doing the wrap as we do each year at our education conference. Joining me on the set right now as we come to the closing day is the President-elect of the Jamaica Teachers Association, Mr. Mark Malava. How are you doing, sir?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I am doing good. Good to be here sharing the lenses with you. And of course, we are asking you to give us a summary of the 3 days of the Education Conference 25.
A summary in one word: excellent. I think that essentially summarizes what has happened with this year's education conference. Certainly, it has gone a far way in helping to equip our teachers in terms of embracing the technology, because I think we are at a point where teachers don't need to work harder; they need to work smarter. And given the platitude in terms of the level of innovations that are out there, the level of technology that are out there, then certainly from where we sit as a JTA, a lot of these resources that we are providing to our members will go a far way in helping them to carry out their job more effectively and more efficiently and with far less stress. One of the key hallmarks of in terms of our tools has to do with lesson plan. Day in, day out, teachers would, over the years, would have to sit in front of a computer, sit in front of a teacher's diary and produce their lesson plans almost on a weekly basis. When you have things like DFIT and ChatGPT and all of those, they can utilize the technology, the AIs, to spend far less time on a weekend to produce their lesson plan. E-learning was here as well, and they did an excellent presentation. And not to be left out is mental health and wellness.
Indeed, and the Minister of Education was here, and she seemed to have given a lot of material to the public to go through, summarize, to determine how to utilize this AI, this new thing in education. And I saw where a discussion was taking place in the public domain in terms of marking of papers. The minister's speech for you.
Yeah, it was a good speech. I will always take it with a grain of salt, and the reason why I will take it with a grain of salt is that for too long we taught the talk, we don't walk the talk. And yes, the minister's presence was good. She spoke to several things that are in the pipeline. Some have come out of the pipeline. But let's face the reality. We are nowhere where we ought to be in terms of in the classroom with the technology. We have many schools, for example, that don't have internet. And there are many schools that don't have Wi-Fi coverage. I know some strides have been made in this regard, but I think for too long we've been talking the talk. We need to walk the talk. Certainly many of the classrooms the same way that I went to school, the classrooms are looking today. The same that my mother went to school, the classrooms are looking today. The same way that my great-grandmother went to school, the classrooms are still looking today. We need to...
Given the desks and chairs.
Given the desks and chairs, given the technology, there are still teachers, unfortunately, that are forced to use cartridge paper. And we call that technology. When in all honesty, it's really not technology, but they have no other choice. I love the minister's speech, but it's time. But where she would judge is where the rubber hits the road.
I want to thank you so much for summarizing in your own way in terms of what you saw and what the expectation is in terms of going forward. I know you have to move on to other things.
Yes.
So thank you so much, sir.
Thanks for having me.
All right, and so as he vacates the broadcast chair, we welcome another of our colleagues, and both of them are from St. Thomas for that matter. The president-elect is from St. Thomas, and coming to join me now is another St. Thomas lady, a powerful lady for that matter of fact. She's working with some students at her institution. Let me tell you who she is. She's Jacqueline Hendricks. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nash.
How are you
Good
doing?
morning. I am great.
Tell me a little bit about License School of Special.
So the License Center of Excellence.
Okay.
It's this school located in St. Thomas where we cater to post-primary students who have been diagnosed to be intellectually disabled. Not only are they intellectually disabled, but they come to us with other challenges. So yes, our students have comorbidity.
I recognize that they participated recently at a function at Shorty Teachers College, but I could not believe what you just said about having disabilities. These students are good.
And yes, I'll say these students are differently abled with the assistance of the wonderful staff we have, be it academic, administrative, or ancillary. We work as a team with these students and we ensure they feel that they have a place in life. And so their self-esteem is boosted and they know they can contribute and that their contribution is valued.
Thank you so much. Now, you attended the JTA Education Conference 2025. What was it like for you?
It was a breath of fresh air.
Wow.
My disability is that I'm afraid of technology, and I saw where there were opportunities to hold my hand and to take me through. And this also, I saw opportunities for the students with special needs. Apps, I was exposed to apps that I can now say to my staff, let us try and do things another way. The technology is here, and if you don't log on, you will be left behind. And at License Center of Excellence, we believe in adding value to our students. And so I was very happy to have been here, and I will share with my teachers, and we will ensure that our students are a part of this transition.
Thank you so much, Jackie.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
All right, thank you so much. And another one exits the broadcast chair, Jacqueline Hendricks, out of St. Thomas. And coming to join us now is another educator who attended the 3-day conference, Maureen Rowe Campbell. And she takes her seat. Let me pass the microphone over to her quickly and say, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm feeling so great.
I am happy to know that, and you're not uncomfortable.
No, not at all. Not anymore.
I'm so happy for that. All right, which school are you from?
I'm from St. Hugh's High School,
That's in Kingston.
Kingston.
Right, and you were at the conference for the 3 days so far.
Yes,
What has
yes.
it been like for you?
It has been wonderful. It has been an eye-opener. And there are some things that I've learned. I was afraid once to use, but now with the AI revolution, I'm
What
going
were
to
those
get
some of the things
involved.
that you used to be afraid of?
I didn't want to use the AI apps because I thought I was getting myself involved in something dangerous.
Ah,
They were taking my information.
oh,
But no, I have new ideas.
okay.
I used to use Copilot, but when they asked for me to sign up, no way would I do that.
I know about Copilot that is in airplane. What are you talking about?
Oh, well, it's an AI
Tool.
tool
To
that I have been using to help me with my lesson plan.
I see.
That hard thing called lesson plan.
I see. All right. So you're going to go back home refreshed, renewed, ready to go again?
Ready to go again and adding even more to what I've learned and used to use. I'll add more.
All right. And I thank you so much for stopping by us.
Okay,
Have a
thank you.
wonderful- And I know that your folks back in Jamaica will be looking out for you. Matter of fact, they
Yes.
might be looking and say, hey, she didn't tell me she was coming on.
I was told I was on TV last night.
All
so
right.
it continues.
All right, so you continue. You continue.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Maureen Rowe Campbell.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. So we move right along. And another of our colleagues, we're just asking persons to provide us with their summary of the 3 days so far in terms of their attendance at this JTA conference, of course, talking about technology. And as good as I might be on technology, I am not the best at it. And all of us have room for growth. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you, sir.
Karen Gombele.
Gumbele.
All right, Gombele. What's where your name not Jamaican?
Definitely not. I'm Jamaican, married to a Congolese. So the name Gumbele
Africa.
is Africa.
There you go. Lovely to have you here in Jamaica so you can speak Congolese.
Pardon?
All right, never mind that. Never mind that.
Oh, I'd like to educate the folks.
Yes,
Lingala is spoken in Congo.
There you go. There you go.
So-
So you got me right. You got me right. What I was asking about the language.
Yes.
Right. All right. The conference. What was it like for you?
Wow. Also an eye-opener. It's excellent, excellent information overload, and so empowered to go out there and spread the word.
What exactly? Anything specific that's the conference is why I'm holding on to this and moving forward?
Definitely, because as a teacher in the classroom, I would frown upon the students who were using AI, right? And I would discourage it. But now I know, AI is here to stay. So instead of discouraging, I would guide them how to use it, properly. So that's the takeaway for me.
Okay. And your school is where again?
I'm from Swan City, St. Hugh's High School.
So you traveled to Congo or something?
Not Congo. Last summer, I went to South Africa. Yes, I went to safari. It was a wonderful experience.
Never mind.
Right,
All right.
sharing is caring.
That's right. I want to thank you so much, Karen, for sharing your thoughts with us about the conference.
Right.
Have a good one.
It was a pleasure.
All right, indeed. All right, as we continue and preparing for the final session of the JTA Education Conference here in Trelawney. As a matter of fact, we're coming to you live from the Ocean Coral Spring in Duncan's Trelawney, and we are now going to be speaking with Marion Wilshire. I know some Wilshires, but she's married Robinson. All right. How are you doing?
I am great.
Wonderful, wonderful to have you. And tell me where you hail from.
I am from the cool parish of Manchester.
You are from Manchester.
Yes.
Oh wow, that's my born parish.
Born
What
and-
school you teach?
I teach at Bishop Gibson High School.
Wonderful, indeed. I have some people who went there.
Okay.
All right. So you have been here for the past few days.
Yes, sir. It
What
has
has it
been.
been like for
It
you?
has been great. Wonderful. It's added value for me, simply because, yes, we were told. We have been introduced to the tools of AI, but for me, it is how I'm going to implement these in the teaching, learning experience of my students.
From learning to implementation.
Right.
Is it going to be easy for you? How do you analyze?
To be honest, we have been using a few. Our school makes enough preparation for us to incorporate these in our lessons. But now I feel a little bit more energized, and I'm empowered that this can really add value to the learning of our students.
Okay, wonderful. So we look forward to hearing good things about what you've got. As a matter of fact, a little birdie spoke to me earlier on and said, and we should really let these activities that these people have participated, let go towards their portfolios and so on and so forth.
Great. We are welcoming that. Yes, added value.
So next year, put it down from now that you're
Yes,
going to be on
yes.
next year.
I hope to be a part of it.
Very well.
Thank you so much, sir.
Marion Wilshire out of Robinson, out of Bishops in Manchester, Jamaica. 2 more persons to come. We are drawing closer to the time of the other session, but come on over and join us so that we can speak with you. You grab your microphone and speak with me here. We're coming to you live from Ocean Coral Spring, Duncan's Trelawney, Jamaica. This is the JTA Education Conference. It's the final session that we are speaking to you out there in Jamaica and the world on at this time. Joining me is a wonderful lady. Um, Trying to figure out on my paper here now. All right. So, Joan. Okay. Right. Joan Hewitt.
Yes.
How are you?
I am doing
Pull up
wonderful,
pull up-
energized.
Yes. Pull
Yes.
up a little bit closer over to me. Don't be afraid of me.
No, 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 certainly not.
All right. Which school are you from?
I am from the beautiful parish of Manchester. Yes, and from the wonderful Bishop Gibson High School.
Wow, another Bishop Gibson High School person
yes.
coming online. Wow.
Yes.
It must have been great for three of you to have been here.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Tell
It
me what
is.
stood out for you in the conference.
What stood out? Well, the emphasis, the paradigm has changed from a chalk and talk situation to the 21st century classroom where we effectively integrate technology and by extension AI into the classroom.
I like the whole talk about integration because
Yes.
you up to now you are now on whiteboard.
Yes, we are on whiteboard, we are on the projectors, the various technology. We try to incorporate it in the classroom. It is encouraged at our
So how
school.
are we going to transition from the whiteboard now to using the technology moving forward?
So moving forward with what I have learned from these Power Pack sessions, now I am empowered to take this back to my school in the various training sessions, whether at the department level or the academic level. The emphasis will be placed to say that this is the way forward, and we don't want to stay behind. You know, this institution, remarkably, we produce lawyers, doctors, and all the varying profession. Right now, given the information that came from the conference, I'm saying that we can enhance and revolutionize the whole teaching and learning experience.
Joan Hewitt, your principal, will be happy that he sent you.
Yes.
Who's the principal?
Oh, my principal is Mrs. Donna
Oh, she.
Hendricks.
Mrs. Hendricks.
Yes.
All right. She's going to send you next year.
Hopefully. And I just want to say thank you
Yes.
for the opportunity. It's a powerful, well done JTA. And I want to say thank you, Bishop Gibson, for affording us this wonderful opportunity.
You just looked at your principal and she's going to respond. Thank you so much for joining us.
And thank you
All
for
the
having
best.
me. Yes.
All the best. All right. All the best. All right. You're good. All right. So we are here and continuing with our broadcast. Thank you so much. Name is Leon Nash. I'm the Communications and the PR Officer for the Jamaica Teachers Association. You might have been wondering why is it that we took a break when you were enjoying those discussions and comments being made by the participants of the JTA as they attended the 2025 staging of the Education Conference, coming to you live from the Ocean Coral Spring Duncans in Trelawney. But we're back, and that is what matters. We want to say thanks to you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be watching what we are producing and presenting to you. We're standing by for the last session of the conference, which is currently underway. The session that we're talking about, we're going to be hearing, there's a panel discussion that is going to be coming up, and that will be followed by us presenting to you the candidates who are vying for this year's education, sorry, not the education conference, but they're vying to become the next president-elect of the Jamaica. Two, three bishop people right behind the other, and they all pull from each other's energy. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Nash.
How are you doing?
I'm very fine, thanks. Happy to be here
And I'm
speaking
so
with you.
happy that you took on the challenge to be here.
Thank you so much.
All right, so what do you do at Bishop's?
Okay, at Bishop Gibson High School, I'm one of the guidance counselors. Yes, and I have a guidance team that we work together to empower, to motivate, encourage, and to just transform students' lives in a positive way.
Wonderful. And when you were chosen to be here, what was going through your mind?
It has been of a mixed feelings because it has been my first time attending the JTA conference. Yes, and I was wondering, but I was better to manage better, to understand what we are going through, and to really deal with these challenges. It's really, really encouraging.
Wonderful. I want to thank you so much for joining us on set this morning to give your own summary and your takeaway from the JTA Education Conference. And how long have you been a member?
Okay, well, I've been a member of the JTA for over 25 years.
And what would you say to those who are still sitting on the fringes?
Well, you need to join the JTA. You need to come on board because this organization...
Look right into the camera and
you need to join the Jamaica Teachers Association because it helps you, it empowers you as a teacher to build and to grow higher. So you need to become a member of JTA. They are doing a great job here for teachers.
Wonderful. Thank you so much,
Thank
Margaret
you so
Ramsey,
much.
out of Manchester.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Nash, for having me.
All the best.
All right,
and I'm
thank
going to
you.
pass my paper over to the persons who are in the room. Let's check to if you can identify these individuals for me and get them over. All right. Right. There are some names that are on there. I'd like you to. We have some persons who we want out of that room to get over here quickly. Right. So we're asking that they come in and speak to us. All right, so we're standing by for the session, which is going to be coming up next. We've got our brother and friend, the public relations officer for the Jamaica Teacher Association. He's going to be coming on board to speak with us shortly, and we are looking forward to joining the production on the inside of the conference room. Dr. Chin has taken over her position, and so we're going to be asking some of the exhibitors to join us at this time quickly. She will identify herself and tell us who are we speaking with at this time from Sagicor, of course. Hello, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm fine. My name is Sharon Nelson. I'm a Revenue Solutions Officer with the Sagicor team.
All right, wonderful. Okay, and while you speak to me, just remind me of the name in writing there. Just put it on. While you're listening, I'm going to be questioning you. We're live online at this time, broadcasting to our folks back home. Of course, it has been a splendid 3 days. Would you agree?
Yes, it has been very lovely, trust me. The experience is very nice, and I really like what JCA is doing for its members. I think this is lovely, trust me. You rarely have any organization that would put on a conference at a hotel and have all its members down here for three whole days.
Is this your first time?
Yeah, it's my first time.
And what has it been like for you?
The experience has been good. We have interacted with a lot of your members, and they're very appreciative of what's going on. And I love to see that. Yeah.
Okay. So tell me, what is that you brought for this conference?
All right. So we're representing Sagicor Group. Well, we're representing mainly Sagicor Bank, Sagicor Investment, and Sagicor Life. We're promoting critical illness awareness, because you know how important it is when persons are ill to be able to afford proper health care. Because majority of the time, it's not the illness that really affects you, you know. It's the ability to actually afford to treat the illness that really stresses you out. Yeah.
So Sagicor is a bank, and it's an insurance.
It's actually a financial group. We have
group.
everything
Yes.
from A to Z.
Yeah, A to Z. And that will take us a couple of minutes to go through, if you were to give me details. But you are representing the entire brand here today.
Yes.
And but specifically, you're zeroing on any particular area?
We're zeroing on critical illness awareness, as I said. Supplementing retirement investment, that is really important as
Meaning
well.
that you must put away some money.
Extra money other than the 5%, because most persons just put in the 5% in, and then the company matching the 5%, and then you know you max it at 20%. But then again, that is still not enough to help you in retirement. So we are also introducing stuff that can also help to supplement your retirement.
What are some of these?
So we have investment products like stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and we also have stuff with Sagicor Life, your Sagigold, and your equity multiplier, and your guaranteed investor that guarantee the principal that you
Do
put
these
in.
have a span of years in terms of how long you invest for?
Well, only for the Sagigold, we would recommend that you have it for 10 years before pulling anything from it, because if you pull anything from it before that 10 year, you have a penalty to pay, and that is what we use to actually influence persons to not take the money, to leave it there, because you're really putting it aside to supplement your retirement fund. So you don't want to be pulling that. Okay. Yes. For the other products, especially the one with Sagicor Investment, you do not have a timeline until when you are able to access it. So if you have your stock account, it's whenever you want your stock. But however, you know that stock is a time thing, and to really see it grow, you have to leave it for a long period of time.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. That's you?
Mhm.
All right. Good. So we're speaking with Sharon Nelson.
Yes.
And what do you say your position is again?
I'm a revenue solutions officer.
Revenue solutions. So if you want to make money, who do you go to?
Sharon.
And
From
if you
Sagicor.
want, and if you want to invest, who do you go to?
Sharon.
All right. And if you want to hear how much money you have made upon what you've invested, who will you go to?
Sharon.
Of course. Sagicor all the way. Thank you so much for joining us
Thank you so
on
much
set.
for having us.
And I want to wish you all the best. And thank you so much for choosing to be part of the JTA Education Conference.
You're most welcome, and we're really honored to be invited. I think outside of your credit union, we're the only other financial institution here.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And Friendly Society.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Thank you. All right, and all the best. I'm sure that they are looking for you to present them with all the tokens out there.
So please stop by our booth. We have tokens.
Yes, yes. And after today, ensure that you will stop by Psychometric.
And after today, yes, ensure you stop by Psychometric.
Thank you so much. All right, so we're coming to you live. We are live, and we are preparing for the next session of our conference, and we are inviting you to keep the log on onto our website, jta.org.gm. Have a seat, sir. All right, and also on our YouTube channel, Jamaica Teachers Association. That's where we are now on YouTube, and of course on our Facebook at Jamaica Teachers. My name is Leon Nash. For those of you just joining me, we are standing by for the final session of our conference 2025. Of course, the panel discussion is going to be coming, and we have 3 candidates that are vying for the president-elect of the Jamaica Teachers Association. And so they are also going to be speaking. You will see them in just a short while. But right now we have joining us on the set, Mr. Toshawn.
Williams.
Right. Toshawn Williams is always good to ensure that you get the pronunciation correct. Right. And nobody wants you to ever spoil their name. Especially they would have been so comfortable sitting down in the conference and cut a 10 and 2. Right, and not to come and sit, but Toshawn is here. Where are you from?
Yes, I'm from Otrius at St. Anne, but I am a lecturer at the Money College.
Right, young man, young lecturer.
Yes.
How do you manage a big man in the class on the big league?
But you see, I'm able to, relate to them more than others.
How so? I started out. I'm going somewhere. Yeah, tell me about it.
Yes, you see. All right, being younger, all right, I am not far removed from being a student. So I know the struggles of a student, the challenges. So you find that they find me easier to work with.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. When I'm going to ask you this, when you started out, how young were you? I'm going to tell you mine.
All right.
Or you started out young?
The thing is that I don't show my age doesn't show. That's the thing. So when I started in 2019. That I was actually 30 at that point.
30.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
When I started, I was 20.
Okay.
When I started teaching, and I had difficult time when I went to. I started off in Springfield in St. Elizabeth. I was just coming out of high school.
Okay.
And then I continued to teach, and I went to Spalding's High School in Clarendon, and I saw some tall, they could have been called giants at the time when I went there. But it's always good to set the pace, and so that person to understand who you are and what you're about. I said, I'm the teacher, you are the student. It doesn't matter how tall you are, I'm the teacher. So you take control of your space. So I'm taking control of this space now, and welcome you on stage on the JTA broadcast. Thank you. All right, so we're talking about the JTA Education Conference. What is it? How was it for you?
Yes, it was very good. It was very informative. One of the things that stood out to me was that session on using technology to plan instruction. I knew that there are a lot of AI tools around, but I didn't know that there were that many. Right? I learned about the Microsoft, the Copilot Educator that is specifically for us. I learned about Wakelet. I learned about Deficit. I think it's Deficit. Yes, and the Kahoot, the normal ones, the Kahoot, the Google Classroom. Yes, they're very instrumental, and they showed us how these things can be used to make our lives easier as teachers. Because we really have a lot of things doing, so if we can make some things easier, then it will be better, even for our mental health. And then there was a session on mental health which appealed to me as well. I didn't know that so many persons across the world suffered mental health issues, as the presenter said that it was 1 in 8, which worked out to 970 million. And it was 20% of Jamaicans, which is like 1 in 5.
Wow.
Yes, so
that
I didn't know that it was.
It's really stressing.
Yes, I didn't. That was
talking
a
about
good one.
mental
That
health.
was a good one. Yes.
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 All right. So all those impacted on you somewhat.
Yes, and another thing that really spoke to me was the fact that there are actually AIs which can help with your mental health. I wrote a couple of them down. I remember writing down Headspace and Happify. I remember those two in particular, so I said that I'll have to check out those two.
Yes. Wonderful. I want to thank you very much to Sean.
Yes.
All right, Williams, lecturer at the
Monique College.
Monique College. And how's the principal?
Yes, he's good. He's good. My principal is the boss. He's literally the boss.
All right,
yes.
all right. The past president of the JTI, you're
Yes.
well aware.
Yes. When I was a student, he was.
Okay,
He was
wonderful.
there.
Thank you for joining us, sir.
Yes.
All the
thank
best.
you as well. Yes.
All right, good, good. All right, so we're coming to you live from the Ocean Coral Spring in Duncan's, Trelawney. Of course, we have another of the... All right, so tell you what, I'm going to ask you to hold on and let me bring in one of the exhibitors who is also here. And so, all right, so as you come, you just state it here for us and talk to us, and then we take the other Monique person to speak to us here on our broadcast as we prepare. The preparations are being made in the conference room, keeping tabs on that. And in just a while, we will be joining the on stage, not as in television program, but in our televised production. Joseph Donaldson.
Yes, you
How
got
are you,
that
sir?
correct. I am doing well.
Right, he's a short man with a lot about books.
That's so true. You got that correct.
Where are you from?
I am from Mile End, St. and
You're
Orchards.
from Educator. All right, and how long you've been with your book zone?
I've been with Book Zone for 2 years and counting.
2 years. And how often have you come to the JTA Education Conference?
The JTA Education Conference, since I've been working with this company, I've not missed any yet.
And this is how long now?
Since for the last 2 years.
Last 2 years.
Yes.
Wonderful. Now, you're out there. You're positioned at a point where everybody passes by you first.
Yes.
Is this for good reason why you're so positioned? I think I have an idea, but you tell me.
It's a strategic position to have the first encounter of whoever climbed the staircase.
I hear
Yes,
you.
so we
and talking about climbing the stairs, you first have to know where you're going,
That
be
is
able
it.
to read about where you're going,
That is it.
to be able to get to where you want to go.
yes, and even
Right.
exiting, we are the last person you'll
Right.
speak to actually
So you tell
exit.
them, please remember to read.
Right.
What's your mantra of your company?
The mantra?
Yes, your theme, anything that you operate.
Making education happen.
Making education happen. That's lovely. What was the conference like for you?
The conference is a good one. It brings somewhat attraction to our new titles that we have there. Being on the outside as exhibitor and overhearing some of the conversation we made mention about technology, and I mean, it was a good one.
All right, and your boss, you want to just look in the camera and say, thanks, sir, for allowing me to be here now the second year.
All right, thanks so much to the JTA Association for allowing the Book Zone Limited here at the conference. Please remember that we are located on 36 to 38 Kingston property. That's on Red Hills Road.
All right, we look forward to seeing you next year.
Look forward to see you next year.
Indeed, maybe you will be occupying my chair.
Who knows?
Thank you so
All
much,
right,
sir.
sir. Thank
Have a
you.
good one.
Yes.
All right, blessings. All right, so we take the other Monique gentleman, and then after that, we will hear from a wonderful lady who has joined us in our space out of Manchester. As a matter of fact, she covers a particular region, and she represents a particular organization. All right. Do I have your name there?
Yes, Andrew
Right.
Perry.
Andrew. Perry.
Andrick.
All right. So for my, I want to see the correct spelling of that first name.
So
It's not here.
it's Andrick.
All right. Okay. Right. Hendrik.
Yes.
Mr. Perry. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much.
From the Monique.
Yes, we are now
Teachers
the Monique
or
College.
The Monique College.
No, the Monique College.
So why do
We-
people always say Teachers College? And
Well,
that is where you started.
we have moved from a teachers college, and we are now offering different programs. So we are a multidisciplinary institution. So we offer programs through the Council of Community Colleges. We offer programs through JTS, and also from the Teachers Council of Jamaica. So we offer a variety of programs.
What was the conference like for you?
Oh, the conference. Well, the theme stood out to me: innovation in education. To talk about technology. And when I saw the theme, I was expecting to see the technology aspect of education and how we are transitioning into using technology more in our classrooms versus the traditional way of teaching and learning. And so as I perused the different rooms throughout the conference, one of the areas that stood out to me was the Innovation Hub, where I saw the idea of using robots and also different kinds of drones, and there was this box that I saw that had no end, right? And so that amazed me, and
if I jumped in there, I would come out.
and
It was just glass.
And it was just glass. So that was one of the things that stood out to me, as it showed us where we're now seeing where technology is used in different areas and in education. Additionally to one of the other things that stood out to me was this smart board panel. Of course, we would have seen the smart board in our classrooms, but to how interactive they have now developed the panel, where we are able to use the panel to interact with students, students are able to interact with the board and get real hands-on opportunities throughout their interaction in the classroom.
Wonderful. All right, so thank you so much, Mr. Perry, for joining us on set. Just give them a message. All right. So what's your message to your school and those who are watching now?
Well, message to my school is I'm proud to be here representing the institution. And for those who are watching, continue to support the JT because they're doing wonders for education.
Indeed. So says Mr. Perry, folks.
Thank you so much.
Joining us online. Thank you so much,
Thank
sir.
you.
All right. And so coming over next is the Credit Union. Right, the JTA Cooperative Credit Union, they are joining us on set at this time. And following her, we head back to Manchester. There's another wonderful lady who's going to be joining me on set. Let me just check and see what's going on the link. Those who are watching live, we are live right now on our YouTube channel, Jamaica Teachers Association. And for those of you who are just joining me, we are so happy to have you on board. But we say to you, look forward to next year. And if you join us next year, of course, we will always have something wonderful for you. The wonderful, wonderful lady representing a master of a class organization, the JTA Cooperative Credit Union, more than 60 years. What is your mantra?
Serving our members, impacting lives positively.
Yes.
That's what we strive off at JTA Cooperative Credit Union.
And tell that camera that you're looking at, as a matter of fact, those people who are watching you over there, tell them, who are you?
My name is Maze Hales, and I'm the regional manager for Mandeville and Santa Cruz branch. I have another colleague with me, but he's not in here just now, but I'll still mention his name, Mr. Mark Thomas. He's the regional manager for Savlamar and Montego Bay branch, and we are here representing the credit union to just show up and show out for our members and to remind those who are already members of the JTA Credit Union of our products and services. And the topic here at the conference is about AI, and to just let them know that the JTA Credit Union is a part of AI. We are embracing it, and to know that AI will assist them to become more financial savvy, because that's what we need.
Yes.
To be aware of their environment. So many things happening in the financial world, and along with us still embracing our personal touch, because customer service is one of our main focus. While we have other competitors out there, JTA Credit Union customer service is top notch. So no matter how AI comes in, we will not swap it out for our ultimate service that we offer to our members.
As somebody said today on a talk show that I was watching earlier on, they said that there's no way in which the teacher can ever be replaced, because
Absolutely.
the teacher is at the center
Absolutely.
of all of the technology that we're going to be utilizing.
Absolutely.
Because the technology
Absolutely.
can't work by itself.
Can't.
It has to work with teachers.
Absolutely.
And that is why you're here today.
Yes.
You've got the money.
Yes. Yes.
Tell them.
Yes. We have money at JTA Credit Union to offer our teachers and all our other members, because we not only serve the teachers, we serve the affiliate members who are associated with the Ministry of Education. You can be the office staff, you can be the ancillary staff. It doesn't matter. Once you affiliate with the Ministry of Education, the educational sector, JTA Credit Union will and can serve you for all your financial needs. We give financial counseling, it's free of cost. Other places you go, you have to pay for it. At JTA Credit Union, free of cost. You know, we will take you from nowhere to somewhere. We'll take you from lower education to higher education. We'll take your children from nowhere to somewhere, from birth to being a doctor, a nurse, a teacher, whatever it is. JTA Credit Union is here for you. We have loans, personal loans, we have mortgage loans, we have investment, we have insurance. And you know what about it? JTA Credit Union, our products and services, the fees that goes with it is second to none. Some of our loans don't carry fees. Some of them, the fees are so small, you wonder why. What are we doing where we can compete with the other financial institution out there? So walk into JTA Credit Union, it's a family affair. You know, we are here to serve.
Indeed, and so you've brought all the packages here.
Absolutely.
And indeed, for those who are at the conference, get giveaways.
Yes, yes, we have good giveaways out there.
Okay.
So just come in, take out a product or a service. You might be a member already, but guess what? You might not exhaust all the products and services that we offer. So just visit our booth. Or even in the branches, just visit the branches, and we'll find something for you there, other than AI, that is.
All right, thank you so much. And of course, you're going to have to pivot to some of the AI stuff in the offices.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. We are on the verge of changing out a lot of things, you know, to match with the AI process. And, you know, we have ongoing meetings to, you know, just to be on board.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
because we embrace AI.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
we have to move with the times.
We have to, we have
Indeed.
to.
Mays
Absolutely.
Hales, the regional
Regional
manager for the JTA Cooperative Credit Union, operating out of
Mandeville and Santa Cruz
Cruz
branch.
incidentally. Yes. Thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome, and thanks for having me. And congratulations, JTA, on another successful conference.
Right.
All
Wonderful.
right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. All right. So thank you very much, Mays Hales, and thank you very much for watching. Those of you who are online, we are seeing your comments in terms of what's taking place here, and so we are monitoring the start of the next session online at the JTA Education Conference. The appeals are going in at this time, and so we're going to ask that she joins us now. I spoke to you about the lady who would have been joining me. She is from Manchester, and I am a little bit biased because I'm from Manchester as well. All right, born, grown, bred, etc., 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 etc. Right. Prim Lewis, how are you doing?
Thank you,
Yes.
Mr. Nash. And how are you today?
I'm doing good. I shared space with you at some point, but then I worked in the background while you worked up front.
And it was an awesome space to be in.
Indeed, indeed.
I don't want to burst your bubble. I love Manchester. It's cool and everything. And I work there. It's my bread and butter.
You worked there.
I work
You
there.
worked there.
It's my bread and butter, but I'm a St. Mary girl.
You're St. Mary. I don't
Yes,
mind St. Mary because when you're coming over after this, I
Adopted.
know what you'll be bringing over.
And I adopted the parish of St. Elizabeth.
It's a fruitful parish.
Yes, very much
Yeah,
so.
Naseberry.
Banana in particular, breadfruit, yes.
Yes. So when I stopped by the Catholic College.
Oh, yes.
Right, welcome. So you are at the conference, the education conference. You've been here quite a few years as a member of the JTA.
I have indeed.
How many years can you recall?
Woo. I've been a member of JTA since I became a member of the teaching profession. I don't know if I want to say how many years that is,
Yes.
because it's going to date me.
But quite a few years.
Quite a few years. And I've been actively participating in the JTA for a number of those years. Granted, not in the foreground, but I work with the JTA behind the scenes a great deal.
I'm going to take you, we're now at 2025. The past 5 years, 2020 to 2025, you've been at the conferences. What, if you were to do a comparison, coming down now to talking about technology, how would you compare?
Well, I wouldn't want to do a comparison, Mr. Nash, per se, because the age we're in now is kind of difficult to compare it with the ages past, especially 5 years ago. Because remember, COVID would have happened and would would have really caused an evolution in technology, and then not the birth of AI, but the evolution of AI
Yes, yes, yes.
technology. And this conference really brings home poignantly the importance of indulging, learning, and basically practicing what we do in technology and fine-tuning,
Yes.
you know, the craft. And everybody needs to be on board, because there are some persons who are fearful of technology, and we're getting to the age where the swipe card doesn't work anymore at some machines. Yes. I don't want to throw any bank under the bus, but I'm a member of 2 banks, and they don't have, they don't.
Point of sale?
They don't. The point of sale is not taking my cards anymore from those 2
Point of
banks.
sale is the one that you use in
Swipe.
Yes.
Right. They're telling me,
And
oh.
the ABM works though.
Yes. They're telling me, oh, we can't use a card here, which is frightening. So I need to go talk to my bank.
Goodness me. Wow. After today,
So
things will change.
So this conference is really on target in terms of where we are, where we're going, and what we need to do to be able to keep up with what's happening in the world.
If you were to recommend any session to anyone to go back and find the material that was presented in that year, which year would you?
I think I would want to recommend Dr. Errol William Shakespeare, and I would want to also recommend, I think it is Dr. There's one that we had an activity where we were shown, I think, 80 slides, 80 interactive technology activities, and we were to decide which ones were fake and which ones were real. At the end of it, I just threw one out there because I figured that I want to win the prize, so I just said one. But in essence, only 5 of the 80 demonstrations were real. In other words, every other one was generated by AI.
Yes.
That was frightening because they seemed very, very real.
Okay.
Also, there's another one that demonstrated how you can use technology for research and all of. There were so many exciting ones that I'm losing track of the names. How you can use the technology in the classroom, enhancing lessons, and also encouraging teachers to understand that you can't fear the technology because the students are going to be using it, and also where AI is concerned, we can't tell students anymore, don't use AI. We have to teach them how to use AI responsibly. Those really stood out to me.
Indeed. I want to thank you so much for sharing your thoughts.
And I want to say the JTA is doing great things. We're uniting and serving, and we want all teachers across Jamaica to make sure that you are a member of the JTA.
Right. I'm happy that you've gone there, because when they said all teachers, I said, but we've got some more still just sitting on the fringes and taking a ride.
No. When they see me one-to-one, I can tell them more, because I don't have time on air right now as to why they need to be a member of the JTA. Right. I've always been a member of the JTA. Never had to use the JTA for legal purposes or anything like that, which I really hope I don't have to. But the JTA has benefited me throughout my life, and I encourage all my colleagues to be a part of it.
Prim Lewis,
thank
principal
you,
of the
Mr. Nash,
College.
and thank you, JTA.
Thank you so much. All the best. All right, so we are getting to that point where we're going to be heading inside, but wrapping up this session at this time is talking PR. There's a gentleman on Sunday who gave the people a charge, and each time he used his hand and he pointed over the left side and he pointed over the right side. And this is how I'm going to be welcoming Mr. Audley Fear, the PR chair of the JTA. The gentleman used 2 terminologies. I hope you recall all of them. And he asked that left side something, and he asked the right side something. What are those 2 things that he said on Sunday? On Tuesday.
Sir Nash, I remember Wayado, and the other one is we're starting an AI revolution.
There you go.
So, listening.
There you go. What a god. Wayado.
The thing is, I have a short attention span at times, and it was so succinct and capturing that I could not forget.
Indeed,
it was a very good conference.
Wayado. We are starting an
AI revolution.
Thank you so much. And that is what stood out for me. What stood out for you?
You know, I am a young teacher, a digital native, and so I love the AI. But what stood out for me particularly was the presentation yesterday, the first session, where you could use the videos to turn yourself into a cartoon that you can then use to teach your class. That one was phenomenal for me. It was new for me. I did not know about that technology.
What would you say to those persons who were not here? Look in the camera and tell them what they missed.
Do not let next year miss you, and also do not allow annual conference to miss you that's coming up in August.
Indeed, indeed. Mr. Audifair, the chairman of the Public Relations Committee of the Jamaica Teachers Association, and other things stood out for you in the conference, I'm sure.
Yes, of course, of course. And before I go, Mr. Nash, I want to ask everybody out there, teachers, non-teachers, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jamaica Teachers Association. Share our Instagram page is official.jta. Also, Jamaica Teachers on Facebook. And of course, we have the JTA website, which is jta.org.gm.
All
so
right, and of
please
course
stay
we've got our
tuned.
TikTok page as well.
Yes, we have our TikTok, and you will be getting that. The TikTok is at Jamaica_teachers.
Indeed, indeed.
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Audifair.
Blessings, Sir Nash.
And stay right there
Good,
as
good.
we wrap here and head back inside now for the panel discussion that is going to be on. It has been my pleasure. Leon Nash is my name. We have been here talking about the conference so far, but we are not done. The live production, the live presentation with the panelists coming up in the conference room, and also stand by for the president-elect candidates who are going to be on later on. You remember the names?
Yes, we have Dr. Maureen Mullins-Nelson, we have LaSonia Harrison, and also Jermaine Williams.
Indeed.
3 candidates vying.
And so at this time, we're going to be heading inside to take what's happening on stage at this time. Leon Nash is my name. It was my pleasure coming to you live from the Ocean Coral Spring in Duncan's, Trelawney.
Time, I have to be very careful of the responsibility that I have it also as to how it is they use the technology to make themselves value added to society. So for me, technology is still in a renaissance, a reformation, and still enlightenment. And so as it go along, we have to guard ourselves and protect ourselves how we use this technology.
Thank you, sir. Over to Principal Mrs. Jones. Remember 1 minute, please. One thing about yourself. 1 minute. Your mind. Oh.
Do you see these things? All right, so I have been in education now for almost 25 years, and with just under 25 years left to go, I am, yes, Lord. So as it relates to AI in education, I remember being among the first set of students when they were arguing using calculators in CXC math. And this particular conversation around AI feels a lot like the conversations back then. Because I remember being able to use the log tables. All these young people don't have a clue what I'm talking about. To do trig. And then, of course, being taught to use a scientific calculator. And I remember the conversations around how dunce we were going to be when they introduced calculators, how education was going to hell in a handbasket with the use of calculators. And now here we are again with another version of technology. I am very excited by it. I have seen what it can do because I used to lead a school that was an Apple-based school from the children were 2 years old until they were 19. And where Jamaica is now is so far behind where my school was 12 years ago that I sometimes get a little annoyed because we don't seem to realize yet that we are educating children for jobs that don't even exist yet.
Thank you. Mr. Damian Campbell, Country Manager.
Morning, everyone. I think my role in the entire process is about strategic partnerships. Just going back in my early years professionally, worked in an educational institution, primary school. My mother is a teacher. Most of my aunts are teachers, so I understand a lot of the challenges. And now leading an organization that's built on young people and the educational opportunities that we can provide to them in a global context. So how do young people in Jamaica connect with young people across the world and learn, which technology is a big part of that. I think just working in Jamaica and seeing the challenges that we have now, one of the main issues that is still unaddressed is the issues around how do we connect sector needs with the educational opportunities that are present, and how do they feed into each other. So we have manufacturing companies, etc. in Jamaica who have problems that they cannot address because we're not putting out young people who can meet those needs. And until we get young people to understand that there are opportunities there for them, and also helping the business sector to understand that they also need to respond to the needs of the education sector, and pull that together, we're still going to continue to have challenges. So I think that's where my focus is. How do we bring partnerships together to address these challenges around education and the whole matter of technology?
Thank you, Dr. Martin. So what do you, sir?
All right, thank you. All my life I've been a teacher, so I have taught at the high school level and then transitioned into tertiary education. So as a teacher educator, pretty much I am aware of the many challenges that are occurring in the schools where the teachers are concerned. One of the areas of concern I do have is the nature of the new generation, and even preparing this generation to be teachers. One of the gaps that I find is that they are very competent in terms of using the devices. They can use the device to do almost anything. But when it comes to applying the technology to the discipline, to what it is that they are expected to do, there's a huge gap. They are skilled with the devices, but how do I use this device to maximize opportunities in teaching and learning? That's one of the gaps that I find, and one of the struggles that we have been trying to get our young people to go beyond the use of the device, to recognize that this tool that they have is more than, for example, social media. Right? It's more than doing basic things. You know, how can I use this tool to become an innovator, for example? Because I find that, you know, they have skills, but the applications where I find that there's a challenge. And so it's trying to find a way to get them to think beyond the device and to think more about innovation, making a difference, you know, ensuring that this device in my hand can make such a difference in not only my life, but in the life of others.
Thank you, thank you. So we are now going to move into this segment where I'll ask each panelist a question, and I'm going to give them 4 minutes maximum to respond. And remember, I said 4 minutes maximum to respond. We have 4 panelists, and then we're going to have, you know, your closing statements. Now, today, I just heard Mrs. Jones. She spoke about the school and where it was 12 years ago compared to some schools where they are today. And my question to you, Mrs. Jones, in what ways must teacher training, professional development evolve to prepare educators for the demand of the 21st century digital classrooms? And how can schools strike that balance, you know, and in terms of traditional digital learning and traditional methods to ensure that the technological advancements and fundamental literacies are, you know, achieved?
Okay. I am going to measure what I want to say, because the truth of the matter is teacher training will always be problematic if we are not able to attract the best and the brightest minds, retain them, allow for them to work in an environment that allows for persons to take risks. Now, people only take chances when they feel safe, when mistake making is allowed. So if you put anything new in schools and then the teacher is only seen as someone whose entire value is directly proportional to a percentage when the world is going anti-grading, then we're going to have an issue. If a teacher is in a room and the teacher doesn't understand how the brain works, how knowledge is constructed and deconstructed, if the teacher does not understand that learning looks very different for different students, if the teacher does not understand how to relate to the students and everything that they come with and respect and value that, then we're going to have a problem, and we haven't touched content yet. Our curriculum is beautiful on paper, very difficult to teach, even more difficult to learn and to master. So as a teacher of science, I'm in a lab that has LAB on the outside and nothing on the inside matches the outside. I am to deliver problem-based learning, and you say to me, oh, there's augmented reality. Yeah, but the reality, like what we can touch in the room, is not able to help me to get the child to even make sense of what they're seeing around them every day. So it is important to look at low tech, and then we look at high tech. I remember when we used to make box trucks. So we have the plastic bottles, and we have the lime, and we have the box, and we have the string, and we do go-kart, and we do all of these things, and children began to understand some concepts. When I'm teaching physics, I use extreme sports, parachuting, paragliding, parkour, all of these things that excite children. We need to get to the place where we understand that in this digital age, it doesn't mean that we replace the authentic experience that children come with. It means then that we decide that these are the foundation experiences children should have. And we ensure that the children have those, and a teacher is able to bridge the gap, and then the teacher is able to enhance that. So a child who comes to me and they have been making box trucks, it is easier for me to teach them friction, push, and pull than a child who is completely around a device all day. But if it is that the teacher is not able to understand how children learn, work within a physical environment, take chances and know that it's okay to get things wrong, that it's going to be difficult. I haven't touched the teacher training yet, because the truth is we are really not training all teachers for the range of school conditions that teachers will have to find themselves in. Some teachers find themselves in schools that don't have running water, that don't have electricity, that the lab has no gas. Then there are other teachers who find themselves in schools that have smart boards, internet connectivity, every child with a device, and a fume cupboard. So the reality is, we need to start empowering student teachers from year one with a more realistic experience of what school is like, design for them experiences where they go into the range of educational institutions, make performance management more developmental than punitive, so that we feel it's okay to make mistakes and we're not just fighting for 2 out of 3 at the end of the year, and ensure that at least the minimum is raised. We have to understand that every child in Jamaica deserves a highly qualified teacher in a good classroom and high quality education, regardless of where they are. And we are going to have to be very honest about the gaps that exist. Not all schools are equal, not all education institutions are equal, but our teachers are equally brilliant, but they're climbing different hills. So teacher training institutions for me should really and truly focus a little bit more on teaching teachers resilience, because not all of our teachers can make it when they go out there. Half of the persons who graduate from Teachers College are not going to teach, and they're quitting within the first 5 years because it's really just that difficult. Their content is amazing, their use of technology is phenomenal, but just being able to maintain your sanity, your joy, your passion for the profession within that first 5 years is incredibly difficult. So if you notice, I really haven't touched the tech, because the truth is, when people are empowered, they will build you edifices and systems like you have never seen. So I would want to do a little bit more in this modern day with this generation of persons going into teaching, to help them to just not just survive teaching, but thrive a little bit more.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well said, Mrs. Jones. And for James Bond, I want to ask you, how do you think we can preserve the social and emotional core of education in terms of relationship and mentorships and so on? You are the Parent Teachers Association president, and you know, mentorship and so on, that's very important for children to thrive in these challenging times. And parents are expected to play a very critical role along with teachers and the school systems. How can we preserve that social emotional core of education, relationships and mentorship in this digital mediated learning space where people don't even want to put down their gadgets? You have to be telling people to put down their gadgets.
300 years ago, just about 300 years ago, salt was a privilege. Salt was a means of, was a currency. It was an exchange of value. And so the simple person living in medieval ages and stuff could not have salt on their table. Believe it or not, salt was a valuable currency. As time evolved and the centuries evolved, salt became more affordable, it became more obtainable, and so salt became something that you could use. When the king and queen traveled, they had their own salt container for their salt, because the common man couldn't use it. As we have evolved with technology, it is very similar. Because using too much salt in the body will of course give you hypertension. Technology, if it's not used properly, is going to cause serious problem, social problem in society. And that's what we see happening. And so we have to have that balance of how we innovate the thinking process of our children going to school, coming from school, using the device to add to their educational experience, because the teacher-student contact is no longer just the spoken word, the blackboard. It is now the homework, and some of the teaching is going to be done with the technology. COVID has done an amazing thing for us. It sounds away, but COVID created an opportunity for the humankind to use technology in a way that you could be isolated from the classroom, yet still you're learning what you ought to be learning. Just now, as we speak, in New York City, there's a demonstration against the technology companies, the media companies, for the content that they are giving, by passing through to the children. And I look at it and I laughed and I said, this is ridiculous, because parents are out there demonstrating, asking for the media companies to manage the content that's coming to them. What are the parents doing? Because there's a receiver and there's a sender. Your children is not the receiver. Believe it or not, your children is not the receiver. You are the receiver, because you are the conduit between the parent is a conduit between the parent, between the children, and those sending the content into it. We are faced with a problem of how we socialize. So many times we say, children, that's not me. We say parents with their children, and all 5 or 4 of them in the family is on the phone. There's no interaction, no conversation. Where do we get to it? Using the technology, and even ask the technology to explain what they think about it, and then that develops a good conversation. Until we learn to do that, then the technology is going to be what salt has become to mankind. It is a preservative. It is used as a taste enhancer. But how much are we going to abuse it until we get hypertension, until it becomes even hereditary? Because the use of technology is going to become hereditary. It has become hereditary. Mother, father, auntie, grandma on their phones, and the 5-year-old and 7-year-old on the phone. Are they learning anything? How will the teacher now be able to settle that child in a classroom for 5 hours for a given work day, teacher-student contact, because that child has now become so overly impressed with the technology, they become addicted to it. And so when there's no technology in the classroom, it's all about learning from a paper. That child is lost, and the teacher becomes frustrated, and the learning process becomes handicapped. It's something to look at.
Thank you. Well said, sir. Well said. It is now time for Mr. Campbell. Now, you are the country manager for British Council. Now, my question to you is, what role you think the private sector should or can play, private sector and international partners can play in building Jamaica's digital education infrastructure?
Well, as a government, I started my career in the government sector, local government to be more specific, and one of the challenges that I identified early out was the fact that we don't have very well coordinated systems for that help us to address the challenges that we have, and I think that's somewhere for us to start. Wherever we want to go, we must decide where we want to go as a country. It has to be led by someone, by a ministry, or whoever. We cannot allow international partners to determine where we go. It must be coordinated, and we bring to that table the different expertise that we would have learned, whether it be the British Council or other organizations, into that space. So we're all speaking to each other. A couple of years ago, we did a national report on STEM education in Jamaica, and that helped us to understand what were some of the challenges, as an example, what were some of the challenges that we were experiencing in Jamaica, where we were as a sector in terms of education. And there are 3 findings that came out of it. There was lack of coordination. So we had various players, everybody working their silos, trying to address, yes, necessary areas, but not working together with the limited resources that we have. There was the need for ongoing training, both for young people and teachers. But there's also the coordination of funding, and what that says is that we have to decide where we want to go. We then bring partners to the table to say, we have these challenges and we're looking for the right solutions to help us to move it forward. And I think that's the first step that we need to take. In my conversations with international partners and also the private sector here in Jamaica, we sense sometimes a little bit of reservations to support our education agenda, because they're not seeing how it will benefit them. I'm not seeing how funding an education program as a private sector partner will help me to get the staff with the right skills I need to operate a machinery in my company to produce the goods I need to make money. And I think as experts within the education sector, we have to help them to realize that it's not an overnight thing, but we can read those results. And I think it's about putting the young people at the center of the discussion and show them real-life examples where young people are using technology, the innovation, the creative thinking, the problem solving, coming together to solve the problems. What we've realized in our programs at the British Council, working with young people, is that they're the best examples to show. And we have to bring private sector individuals to highlight the challenges that they're facing in the business sector and wherever else. Put those problems to young people. And with the resources that we're giving to teachers, with the resources we're giving to young people, we have to guide them in that direction of helping them to understand that I'm sitting in a physics class or a technology class today to address this problem that this company has in Jamaica right now or tomorrow. And I think we have to bring those kind of reality to young people and to teachers on a very consistent basis to understand the why behind this. And I think when we're able to do that, we're in a good position to addressing those challenges that we're facing. Currently, the British Council is working with the National Education Trust, e-learning Jamaica, on a STEAM program that we launched recently with the Ministry of Education. And when we came up with that program, we looked at various things that were happening in the space and how we could use our different expertise across the organizations to address those challenges. And we came up with 4 areas. One was looking at the roadmap to addressing some of looking at the way forward to address STEM and including technology. What are some of the things that we should be doing as a country together? What should the private sector be doing? What should other players be doing in this space? We should also be putting young people at the forefront with the examples, looking at what teachers are going to be trained in. How do we get young people now to put that into practice, to look at the real life situations here in Jamaica? And I think we're seeing a lot of traction there from high level private sector organizations in Jamaica who are addressing issues, looking at issues around climate change, energy, food security, all of those areas where we know young people can address issues around. And I think once we're able to put that together, we're in a good space. to move it forward. But it must be driven by a comprehensive plan by, say, the Ministry of Education or the lead organization. And I think with that approach, organizations such as the British Council can see where we fit in, where our effort is best needed, and will reap the best results for Jamaica. And I think once we can show the impact that will come from that kind of collaboration, I think we're moving in the right direction.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell. You have made some. Yes, I think you have made some very, very important points as it relates to collaboration between public-private partnership as it relates to driving education. And I think that is something that we need to think of seriously. You know, it was just earlier, Dr. Martin and myself, we were talking about, you know, the plan and how do we see, because some people from they can't see the dollars and the cents for tomorrow, they don't see it, and I always say that education is something that transcends time. Many times you don't reap it. Now, I don't know how many you ever go out on the road and when your students see you, and when you see your students and see how they are thriving, and they jump and say, thank you, miss. You know how many years you would have invested and time in it is not tomorrow. So now, Dr. Martin, I want you in your 4 minutes. It is now 10 past. Somebody, please set the time for me, Mrs. Jones. When you hear our phone go on, you know your time is up. How can our education system ensure digital equity for our students, especially those in the underserved areas? And we saw that coming out so much in COVID. It is ridiculous how we saw 2 Jamaicas emerging in COVID, 2 and 3 and 4 Jamaica emerged in COVID. And what policies you think are urgently needed to protect student data, to promote responsible use of AI and ensure ethical digital citizenship?
All right, so where do I start? I think pretty much in terms of dealing with equity, you know, this is a long-standing problem that we have had. And we know it. Part of our experiences is that the schools who are categorized as downtown, inner city, are really underserved. They are not treated similarly to the other schools. And that's a perennial problem. And we notice it. Right, it continues. And I think it must start with government policy to address the funding issue. I think the disparity in the funding when it comes to the allocations of funding per school, it has to be addressed, and we have to look at it from a realistic perspective. No longer can we continue with this model that we have. The schools who need it most need to be funded the best. Give the greater funding. So we have to start with the funding. It starts there. Right? We need to make sure that these schools have at least the basic resources. Listen to what I'm saying. The basic resources. Because some of them just don't have. And they are left isolated. So I think it begins there, right? The other thing that we need to look at is how can we assist these schools? And I'm thinking that we need to embark on a program of shared resources. I spoke about earlier. Shared resources. How can we form clusters of schools where schools who are more blessed with resources can share with those who are not necessarily blessed with that kind of resources. And we have sharing of resources, including, for example, even teachers. We could have a rotational basis where some of the expert teachers, as how it happens in some other countries, they spend time with some of these students in these schools, give them exposure. Right? And so we have a rotational system where we have expert teachers visiting these schools, and we can do it in clusters, right? So there are shared resources. But I think it's a fundamental problem that has to be addressed, because we have seen the output of this problem, where we are isolating the students from these, inner city institutions, and therefore, the results have shown. In terms of AI, pretty much AI is a wonderful thing, and basically, we must understand that even although it's so beautiful, it's helping so many persons, there are drawbacks to AI. And the ethical component of AI is one of the major concerns that I have. I think more efforts need to be put into the fact that we need to, first of all, educate more persons about the ethics of AI. Because it can't be that we're simply just taking people's work and we're just using it as ours. That's one of the basic problems that I have. Right? Persons, as we know now, that there are some industries who are now struggling. The creative industries are now having a serious problem. Persons just take another person's work, use AI, and transform it into their work. And the question is, whose work it is? And that's a major concern, and therefore I think that it has to start with education. Even with the children, we start to educate them that, listen, if the original work is not yours, it's simply not yours. AI can't give you ownership of some other person's work. In terms of policies, I think, for example, one of the shortfalls in the educational system is policies to use AI. All institutions must have major policies as to how AI should be used. That must be in place. And some of these policies that we're talking about, for example, even now with the Data Protection Act, we're pushing the Data Protection Act. All right? And one of the weaknesses that I find in the system is that we should be pushing also AI policy along with data protection. Right? Now, how do we use AI? How do the students use AI? What are the limitations? What is accepted? What's not accepted? Those things must be worked out clearly in policies. I mean, the starting point is that we can't prevent persons from using AI because it's out there, and no matter the mistakes that I think that some institutions are making, it's trying to prevent the students from using AI. I think that's the wrong starting point. What we should do is encourage them to use AI, but hey, this is how you use it responsibly. So the responsibility of use, it has to begin there.
Yes.
And the expectations, right, must be that these policies are there and they are clear, and we have, the kind of implementation that we all understand what it is that we're doing.
Thank you. Thank you. So at this time, we have heard our panelists, and I think each individual, they spoke to some very, very important things that must be addressed and concerns that we have in this time. So at this time, I'm going to ask each panelist to give me a closing sentence. Closing sentence at this time. Thank you. I'm going to start with Mr. Campbell.
Right. I think just reinforcing that education will continue to progress as we continue to work together and coordinate our resources and expertise. We must find a space where we can all convene our ideas and thoughts and plans and work together to achieve what we need for Jamaica. That's the way we're going to push it forward.
Thank you. Mrs. Jones?
My closing thoughts are directly to teachers. AI has the capacity to make your jobs a whole lot easier. Don't fear it. Own it. Sometimes it's better to apologize than to ask for permission with some things. We must get to the place where we demand that all the systems that are in place make our jobs easier so that we can do the things that AI can't replace us for.
Thank you. James Bond.
Patience is a companion of wisdom. The parents of Jamaica, we are dependent on you, teachers, to assist us parents in navigating, meandering through these uncharted waters of AI. We ask that when our children come to school, you manage your AI capacity as best and send them back to us able to understand and appreciate AI a little bit more. We're dependent on you. And again, patience is the companion of wisdom.
Thank you. Dr. Martin, your closing sentence, sir.
And I would say to teachers, in this new paradigm when it comes to AI, the best approach to using AI is to educate ourselves about AI. And I think that is one of the missing links. I find that teachers are not up to date with the information. Simply search the internet for AI tools that can help you to function. They're all there. And they are simple to use. Very simple. Get yourself educated instead of complaining. Education is the best way forward. And I would suggest that.
Thank you, thank you. Let us give our panelists, let's applaud our panelists. I must say a big thank you. Thanks for our audience, our attentive audience. They were really tuned in. And thanks to our panelists for your expert knowledge and suggestions and intervention. Thank you.
What a session we just had. What a way to conclude conference. Panelists, on behalf of the Jamaica Teachers Association, I bring you gifts of appreciation for a job well executed. Thank you so much, moderator, for stepping in when we needed you most.
And thanks again, thanks for all the panelists and their contribution to this panel discussion. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you've been having a good conference so far. What do I hear in the room? Have you been having a good conference so far? Yes. Wonderful, wonderful. We are down to the last session of our conference, and Mr. Clayton Hall, who is the Deputy Secretary General in charge of Member Services and Industrial Matters at the Jamaica Teachers Association. He's going to be taking this position at this time for the continuation and closing of our education conference. Going to be inviting our three candidates who are vying for the position of a president-elect to probably join us on the stage. Since the stage is already set, you could come onto the stage and sit until Mr. Hall gets here. He will direct from here on. But while we await Mr. Hall, I'm going to ask somebody to, yes, he's coming in at this time. So please make Mr. Hall welcome with a big round of applause as we bring this session to a close.
Thank you kindly. Colleagues all, good afternoon. I have heard the communication. It has been made very clear to me. Next year, when you come to conference, we will not have a session today. I've heard you. If you clap a little louder, then other people will hear you too. But we are going to be doing a number of things. We are going to ask the candidates to queue themselves up because we are going to be having a session with the candidates. But just before we go into that, we are going to ask our director of EduHub to launch a project that will be of benefit to all of us.
Good afternoon, teachers. How are you this afternoon? Okay. Well, the pleasure is mine to launch our AI product. So as we know, we are not just consumers of technology, right? Right? We are developers of technology. And so in the past, we would have developed an app for PEP. So those persons who have not connected with our EduHub Study Smart app that uses AI, but helps to prepare your child for PEP. It's available in Google Play Store and the iOS Store. But I'm not here to talk about that today. I'm here to talk about our CXC AI tutor. Put your hands together now. Yes, ma'am. I know you don't know what it is, but I want to tell you some more about it. So this is a new revolutionary app that is created for students who are doing CSEC. So both CSEC and CAPE. And it offers to the students a personalized tutor, right? So they can put in their subject, their topic, whatever challenges that they're having, right? And guess what? The AI will spit out explanations for them, step-by-step working out for them. It will also give them YouTube video suggestions. So if you're weak in, give me a topic that you're weak in. Math. And give me a hard well, that's a subject. Give me a hard topic in maths now. Algebra not so hard. Trigonometry. Right. So if you're having problems with a trigonometry problem or topic, just put that in the AI. So it will ask you, how can I help you today? Or what is the question that you want to ask me? And guess what? Just type in the question. If it is a worded problem, just type in the problem. And then guess what it will do for you? It will work it out. It will explain it to you. It will also give you videos about trigonometry so that you can watch. And then guess what is the value added? It can generate questions as well. So you can ask it, so you can generate a quiz, and the AI will generate the quiz for you, just like what you see there. You can do the quiz as a student, and then guess what it does? It marks it for you and give you your grade. Yes. So this is our AI tutor for our students who are doing CSEC, and it is very timely because we know that CSEC is just around the corner. Well, it has started for some students, and for those who are doing CSEC, it is available for you. Now, the question, I see somebody going like this. If it is free, guess what? It is free for now. So you can share it. So I want everybody right now to just download the app. I only have a minute left. So it is EduHub. So go into Google Play Store, iOS Store, just type in CXC AI Tutor, it will pop up for you, right? And so just type in Study Smart CXC Tutor, AI Tutor, anything to do with CSEC, it will pop up. And I want you to download it, and I want you to share it with everybody in your WhatsApp contact. That's all that you're supposed to do, nothing else. All right? And so I'm going to say to you, colleagues, that this application is available. It is free for now. However, when we start charging, we're just going to charge just a little bit of money. So it's going to be only $4 per month. Little bit of money. I told you, we are built on accessibility. So only $4 per month, and your students will get access. And I'm hoping that all the high schools here, all the parents here, all the principals here will share it with your students. Okay, and just in case you want to know, we also have this application, a similar application for students who are doing PEP. So it is already built in the PEP app. All right, so if your child is having difficulty with doing any topic at the grade 4 to 6 level, the CXC AI Tutor is there for you as well. The AI Tutor is there as well. All right, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I declare the application officially launched, and it is very good for you to have it. So go ahead and enjoy it while it lasts. For free. Thank you. For free for now.
Thank you kindly. I am going to invite the candidates for the JTA President-elect elections 2025 to come to the platform. Yeah, picture? Mr. Cameraman.
I exit the stage.
Colleagues, all good day again. I'm just going to ask you to give a round of applause to our candidates. And individuals who have accepted the mantle or the charge to put themselves up for leadership of the Jamaica Teachers Association must be commended. And colleagues, on behalf of all the members of the organization, I am going to welcome you and thank you for taking this step. I am certain that they are far better able to introduce themselves than I am. So I am just going to begin with the individual to my left and ask her to just introduce herself and say 2 sentences, and then we will get into it, and we'll do that for all the candidates. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Maureen Mullins Nelson. I am here ready to serve this great institution and to give back to education. I'm ready to make the change and the transformation that is needed. Thank you.
You are permitted to give an applause. Go right ahead, Madam Harrison.
Colleagues, Lasonia Harrison, the teacher's voice, the teacher's president, has returned to represent you, to tell the teacher's story. 20 years of service in education, serving as chief servant at the St. Faith's Primary School, born and bred in the Jamaica Teachers Association, knows the association, knows the teacher's heart, the voice of the teacher, the heart of the teacher. I'm here to be your representative in every shape and form. Trusted leadership is what it is that I offer to you. The proof is in the pudding.
Thank you. Thank you. I now move over to Mr. Jermaine Williams. Sir Williams.
Distinguished colleagues of the noble profession, good afternoon. I am Jermaine Nicoy Williams, a proud teacher of Manning School in the parish of Westmoreland, one who would have served the JTA for 15 years at all levels. I am ready to be your chief leader at the highest level, ready to serve. I've always been an advocate, and all the different organizations I've been a part of would have prepared me now for leadership. Thank you.
So, colleagues, you will have been introduced to our candidates, and I will go in alphabetical order as they will appear in our profile. You have seen Mrs. Lasonia Harrison, then Mrs. Maureen Mullins Nelson, and Mr. Jermaine Williams. Let us welcome them to the teachers' platform. This event is being streamed live, and we are going to have a series of presentations, giving you 5 minutes to present, and after all the presentations are complete, then we will take questions from the audience, and we may also entertain questions online, should there be any. I am asking for a timekeeper. Timekeeper. So each candidate will be given 5 minutes. You are permitted to use the platform, and we will go in the order I just outlined. We will go with Mrs. LaSonia Harrison first. Madam Harrison, you could approach the microphone. Our timekeeper, you will indicate when there is 1 minute to go. Do you have your, no, they may not see your hand. Do you have your, what's that, the sign? Colleagues, somebody who has their GoFundMe sign? Thank you kindly. There we go. Are you ready? Madam Harrison, your 5 minutes begin now.
Thank you, Mr. Hall, past president of the Jamaica Teachers Association. I greet our president in his absence, Dr. Smith, our president-elect, our immediate past president, my worthy opponents vying for the post of president-elect candidacy 2025-2026. Colleagues all, good morning, good afternoon again. Colleagues, when it is that we are going to be doing particular surgery, we need experienced hands. We don't call for junior surgeons. We don't call for persons who do not know the ins and outs of how it is we ought to undertake a particular activity. Coming out of the restructuring exercise, we are in need. The president-elect, Mr. Mark Malava, who will be our incoming president, is in need of a right hand, no other than LaSonia Harrison, trusted leadership. You have seen my representation. I'm not hiding, I'm not going behind it. I'm not the puppet of anyone. People do not speak through me. I listen to the voice of the teachers and represent the heart of the teacher. And so as we go forward, not only is it that education is in need of a reform, and they're listening to me, if you notice in my last presidency, what I called for, a philosophy of education. Do we now have a philosophy of education? Yes, we do. The government is listening. I spoke about financing education. A study was conducted by Mona School of Business. They are listening because they know those who have the heart for representing the teacher and the teacher's situation. The teacher is still in need of a livable wage. The teacher is in need of quality living after you're through paying your rent, after you're through paying your mortgage. And we don't want to pay no rent. We want to pay mortgage, car loan, and pay our utilities, and also go to the supermarket. We must have money to live from month to month. We must live from less loans. And colleagues, the continuation, the advocacy for us to represent your issues are my heart. That is what I present to you. And so the teacher starting at that minimum $3.6 million as the Ernst and Young study had indicated, the teacher's cause must be represented. It cannot be that we continue to articulate that education is adequately funded when it is we still have in 21st century classrooms being divided by blackboards. We don't have enough outlets in our classrooms. Our tertiary or infant departments do not have the caregivers that they are in need of. Clerical assistants are not in our primary schools. We don't have nurses. The system is still void of the support systems that it needs in order for us as educators to focus on what is important, teaching and learning. And when we come to work, when we come to give up our 100%, we can't be worrying about if when we retire, we're going to have access to quality housing and home. So these are matters to continue to lobby on your behalf. The reality is, colleagues, our health card need improving. Our situation needs improving to access more housing, and just us being well-resourced, education being resourced, in order for us to stop walk around with the offering plate, in order for us to stop all the fundraising that we have to do in order to support the system. And then, when it is the literacy rate is not where it is, who gets the blame? The teachers. It cannot be. And so the voice of the teacher is returning to stand in your stead, to listen to you, to listen to your situations, and to be the representation. Tertiary teachers want to be paid in alignment with their UE counterparts. The system needs fixing, and the teacher to stand with the incoming president is the teacher with safe hands. The teachers who will represent your issues and without fear and favor. Fearless, factual, and faithful representation in no one's pocket, and to represent the heart of the teacher. Every blessing to you, my colleagues.
Carry your mic. Carry your mic. Thank you kindly, Madam Harrison. Our next speaker will be Mrs. Maureen Mullins Nelson.
Colleagues all, good afternoon.
Just before you go, Madam Timekeeper, are we queued? Your 5 minutes begins now.
Colleagues all, good afternoon. When Israel was faced in a battle and they had Goliath there, all the seasoned warriors ran. But there was a person, a David, who nobody saw. They didn't know that David had skilled hands. They didn't know he was in the backside of the desert being prepared. And when it came time, David came with his 5 sons and a sling. So guess what? I present myself as a David, because we have heard a lot of talk. But even while we have the talk, tertiary teachers, you know our situation. You know that special education is not seen as a specialized discipline. Let us talk about the fact that, let me give you some sad facts. Teachers are among the most indebted group. So after we have had our talk, teachers are still borrowing from everybody, from Peter to pay Paul. All right. The Sagicor agent said to me that teachers die quicker than most persons after retirement, but we're having a talk. We also say that our pensioners have to wait more than a year to get their pension. Our health insurance among the lowest, and in this room we have women, and I'm saying our health insurance must be increased like everybody else. But guess what? We can make it into a certain way, because we need to have geriatric care. We need to look at the fact that as women we go through menopause and that we need a support. Sometime after 3 months our health insurance is finished, but we have to talk about what we have accomplished, but we are still struggling in this area. Let me quote something, because I'm a researcher. And so, it's from the Pattison Report 2011, page 84 said, the present funding arrangement perpetuate inequalities. So even though we have made some strides, we still have struggle. Schools in less affluent communities with greater student needs are often underfunded relative to their better resource institution. So let me give you the scenario of school A, school B, 5 students in school A, 5 in school B, all getting the $5,000 based on the number of students in the school. But guess what is the challenge with school A? 4 of the 5 pay school fee. They come from an affluent community. Their students don't struggle because their parents, you see the CSEC thing that was launched, their parents can afford to pay for it. Their parents will ensure that they go online. But let's look at school B, where 2 of the 5 pay school fee. Them come from some garrison area. Parents don't support them. And so guess what? I am presenting on my manifesto infrastructure improvement, access to learning resources, support for special needs students, counseling and mental health for both teachers and students, nutrition feeding program, hungry picnic and learn. Professional development and making an incentive where that is concerned. Security and extracurricular activities for our educators. But I'm taking it a little further. When I talk, I'm a researcher. I don't come off the top of my head. And I come armed with experience. 33 years serving at every level. I work at the MICO lecturer. And let me tell you, the MICO, they recognize what I have been doing. And they recognize that I will pull a policy document apart, interrogate it, not afraid to go in a boardroom, not afraid to sit and say to the leaders or any leader, this is not serving the benefit of my colleagues. So I present myself. But let's talk about mandatory assessment, because we're talking about what we've achieved. But then, again, I work in a school where 110 students were pulled to get an assessment based on a transformation and an initiative that I gave. And can I tell you, the person said with the best of efforts, colleague, we could help the people them. So I am pushing for mandatory assessment, like I'm pushing for early childhood education, like I'm pushing for special education, like I'm pushing for those of us at the tertiary level, like I'm saying to JTA, the only candidate is calling JTA, say, put aside $50 million to help our teachers to get homes. We don't want them retire. I'm also working with our retirees because I am about not just the classroom teacher, I'm about the system, a systemic change, a change at every level, from early childhood right to our training institution. That's where I stand. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you kindly. At this time, we will invite Mr. Jermaine Williams to the microphone. We are now ready, Mr. Williams. Madam Timekeeper, your 5 minutes begins now.
Philippians 2 verse 3 says, do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves. Today, I stand proudly as a young man from humble beginnings in the cool hills of Darliston, Westmoreland. One who would have served the JT at all levels. DA president, 4 times parish president for Westmoreland, 11 national committees. Colleagues, I'm ready to serve at the highest level. I don't have all the right answers, but I'm someone who will listen to you, the members and the delegates, and will also work with the team supported by the JTA hierarchy. Colleagues, transparency, fairness, accountability, respect, empathy, honesty, integrity are traits of a good leader, and I believe I'm equipped with all those characteristics. Colleagues, I am of the fervent belief that teachers are the bedrock of Jamaica's education system and deserve to be treated with the highest level of respect, but should also be properly compensated. Colleagues, when I become your president, teachers' basic salary should be benchmarked at US $30,000, similar to some of our colleagues in other counterparts. Colleagues, our teachers are leaving, and I must tell you, my retention incentive was submitted in the salary proposal of 2025. A one-off payment for teachers who would have served the system 10 to 19 years of $2,000 US, over 20 years, $3,000 US. Colleagues, I will be negotiating with the government to increase the tertiary grant by 20% so more children of teachers can benefit. My friends, the system is benefiting from the expertise of our brilliant educators who would have studied. I believe that teachers with a master's degree should be paid 5 increments and those with a doctoral degree 6 increments. Colleagues, the fact that teachers who study on the job enables the government to save millions of dollars. That 500,000 ceiling will not cut it. Once you studied for a master's degree, you must be paid $1 million, and those for a doctorate, $1.5 million. Colleagues, I'm going to lobby for a 10% quota of leave to be respected. So all teachers within the educational system who fall within that can benefit. And for those who did not, they can be compensated for the leave that they would have earned. Colleagues, it is also my intention as your president to negotiate with Sagicor and other stakeholders for an increase in the health benefits provided for teachers in service or retired to treat with the increased cost of health care. Colleagues, as your president, I'll be lobbying the government to have robust structures in schools with high levels of violence and maladaptive behaviors, enhancing the capacity of deans of discipline to effectively manage and address problematic behavior. Colleagues, you need a president who respects the JTA Code of Ethics, one who understands the JTA structure. You need a leader who has no intentions of bringing the JTA into disrepute, and one who will preserve the structure of the JTA. Delegates, you are an important part of this puzzle. I am your servant leader. And if you say move to the north, I'll move there. Move to the west, I will be there. Move to the south, I will be there. Move to the east, I will be there. Colleagues, forget about all the noise in the market. I am no hurry come up. Make no mistake about that. I have served this organization and I will have constructive dialogue. Nobody throws stones at a fluxy mango tree. Colleagues, welcome aboard Flight 2025. En route to 97B Church Street. I am your captain from the cool hills of Darliston, Westmoreland, a proud teacher of Manning School. Colleagues, allow me to take you on this progressive journey to improve the lives of every single teacher. Colleagues, you asked for a champion teacher. I'm at your service. Meet Jermaine Nicole Williams, your JTA President-elect candidate for the year 2025. And of course, your captain in waiting. And colleagues, let me tell you, JTA is not short on leadership. The President's Recycling Club is closed for maintenance. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, to our audience in the building and to those on our streaming platforms, if I may be permitted to go to the vernacular, I would say a yes or nice. But the show must go on, and as such, I will seek to ask a few questions. We will also take questions from the audience, and we have some questions online. So I will start off by asking our candidates, in 1 minute, what do you think is the most critical issue affecting teachers at this time? And how would you commence or begin to address it? I'll start with you.
Thank you.
Not on? Test. Yes.
Thank you for that. Remuneration is our biggest concern. We need to be paid better. The Ernst & Young report gave the base salary of $3.6 million, and that's where we are starting, and we are pushing for that. It comes through advocacy. I also believe condition of service, because I say sometimes that you can give me a lot of money, but if I go to work in a classroom with 60 students and the students are not properly assessed and the students are giving me a whole lot of behavioral challenges, then the same money that you give me is going to end up sending me to the doctor. So I believe condition of service and salary are the two big issues that we must confront. How do I plan to confront them? Through research, providing the facts, the data, and strong advocacy, working along with the strong team at the Jamaica Teachers Association. Thank you.
Thank you kindly. Colleagues, we are going to be passing the same question over to Madam Harrison. What do you believe is the most critical issue affecting teachers at this time, and how would you address it?
Our issues are known. We can't go around them. So certainly how it is that teachers are able to live and the quality of living for the teacher, the health and well-being of the teacher, the support that the teacher receives in terms of resourcing of education, again to bring their stress levels down so they can focus on the business of teaching and learning. We can't go around it. And so how and policy directive for education, when the system is fixed from the foundation, early childhood education getting the kind of attention that it needs, when the foundation is established, then we will get the system, it will reciprocate and it will flow throughout the system. And so it is important for us to have policy directive, financing of education, and critical to that is how we remunerate our teachers, how it is that they are able to live, they are able to establish their families, send their children to school. Free education at the tertiary level for our teachers' children is important in order for the next generation to continue and for their families to be established. So I think those are the areas in terms of how we achieve that. Nothing beats prayer. We need to first petition God. We need to seek divine intervention as to how we craft an education system by Jamaican teachers for Jamaican children, and so the teachers participate in creating that framework that will lead how we transition and do education, and incrementally in that as well, how we lobby and resist government. Our leaders took for themselves 300% in terms of their retaining the best and brightest to serve in parliament. We need the best and brightest to be retained in education, and that our teachers can walk with their shoulders square. They can walk proudly, and they can be the professionals that they ought to be.
Thank you kindly, Madam Harrison. We now move the same question to Mr. Jermaine Williams. What do you believe is the most critical issue affecting teachers at this time, and how would you address it, or what would you propose? Sir Williams.
Thank you for that question, Mr. Hall. For me, I would say two. One has to do with the working conditions that teachers have to operate in. And we know that the working conditions of teachers are the learning conditions of students. And also, financially, benefits for teachers. For me, as a developing country, and I want to commend the initiative by Dr. Mark Smith, our national president, in terms of having the private sector put greater funding to education. So I believe that within parishes, within communities, we can have those businesses adopting schools to provide more support. And so more resources will be provided to the schools. We'll have better classrooms that teachers don't have to be constantly selling to upgrade their classroom. But also in terms of benefits for our teachers, teachers' children, and I would have made mention of the tertiary grant for that to be expanded, because, you know, if you pay a tertiary grant for a child, then that's less money coming from the pockets of our teachers. But also in terms of just salary overall and respect, greater respect for the profession. I think as teachers, there are too many factors that we're fighting against, and that will also impact our mental health and would cause us not to function at our optimal level. Thank you.
Thank you kindly. Colleagues, I am very, very enthused about the banter that we're having today. Yes, I like this intellectual sparring. Mr. Nash, do you have any questions from our colleagues online? Sir Nash? Good, good.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hall, and we're grateful for the opportunity to be showcasing our candidates to the nation, bring streams to Jamaica and the world. Just the one question that was posed after Mrs. Harrison has made her delivery, and someone is asking a question, just navigating a little bit here, acknowledging at the same time those persons who are online. We thank you so much for coming on and making your comments. So the question to Mrs. Harrison, first of all, from this individual says that how will you deal with the legal issues that you are currently facing with the JTA? I'm kind of asking in another way.
Paraphrasing. Madam Harrison?
It takes courage and integrity for us to correct ourselves. There are those who argue that you need guts and balls to serve. I argue that you need a womb and you need a heart. And when it is that we have gone awry of what it is that we need, where it is that we have erred, it takes courage for us to acknowledge where it is that we need to self-reflect, we need to introspect, and we need not someone outside to correct us. We must correct ourselves. It takes courage and integrity to do that. We know when there is a matter before the court that we can't speak to the details of the matter, but as the eagle ascends at a particular time and it plucks out all of its feather and renew, the Jamaica Teachers Association is an eagle that must keep soaring, and we must fix our systems and our structures ourselves. And so I'm doing what it is that needs to be done, and we go forward thereafter as a great union to champion unionism in this nation, in the region, and across the world.
Thank you.
All right, there's a follow-up, Mr. Hall, to Mrs. Harrison as well.
We will take the follow-ups at another time.
Okay.
At this time, we're going to be asking if there are any individuals within the audience who would want to ask a question. Yeah, just go to the microphone.
Good afternoon, colleagues. This question is for Mr. Williams. So you mentioned, I'm Carol Hibbert, proud member of Team Harrison.
Yes.
Now you mentioned that the President's Recycling Club is closed from recycling, right? Or for? From or for? For maintenance, right? Now, we know that the world is recycling, and it's to get rid of pollution, right? Now, you have been president out in the West for 4 years. You have been parish president. Am I to understand that what is good for the goose is not good for the gander?
Could we, colleagues all, thank you kindly. We will go past that question, and I will now ask of all the candidates, what item from your manifesto do you believe, if implemented today, would have the greatest impact on the welfare of the teachers? What item, colleagues all, be with me. What item from your manifesto do you believe, if implemented today, would have the widest impact on the welfare of the teachers? And I will start with Mr. Williams.
Ooh. All right, so on my manifesto, I would have made mention of the basic salary of every teacher to to be benchmarked at 30,000 US. If you calculate that, you're looking at roughly 4.6, 4.7 million. And so I believe that will have an impact on every single teacher. It doesn't matter which sector group that you work in. And so, you know, financially, you'll be better off. And that's basic salary, because we understand that persons are on different levels, but we're talking about basic salary. All right, and I believe that that would have the greatest impact. Thank you.
Thank you kindly. We now move to Madam Harrison.
So on my manifesto, colleagues, is that second point of education, policy, monitoring, and reform. To reform education, and equally integral to that is to articulate a plan of financing education. So when it is that we reform education, you can't do that without looking at fixing the teacher's salary and the conditions under which the teacher works. Fix the system. In fixing the system, you must articulate how much money it will take, and compensating the teacher at a livable wage is integral to that. And equally, the support systems for the teachers are the conditions of work that is included in same. And so education reform and policy is what is needed.
Thank you kindly, Madam Harrison. Same question over to you, Mrs. Maureen Mullins-Nelson. What item from your manifesto do you believe, if implemented, would have the widest impact on the teacher's welfare?
Thank you for that. So on my manifesto, I'm looking at payment to schools based on the needs of the school and not the number of students. It would mean that one, infrastructure improvement, access to learning resources, even as we spoke about the AI and the technology, support for special needs students, counseling and mental health services, nutrition and school feeding, incentives to teachers. So when teachers participate in professional development workshop, they will receive an incentive, which would add to the remuneration of our teachers. Also, safety and security. A lot of our schools still struggle with safety issues, especially for those in the communities where, you know, high crime and violence. Extracurricular and enrichment programs. So I know that teachers who work in the performing arts, teachers who give support to our students for sports, they work Saturdays, they work Sundays, they work very long hours, giving them an incentive, because once you give incentive, again, that is adding to the remuneration of our teachers and increasing and giving more value to the amount of money that we have. It also would mean language literacy and numeracy support. It would mean, therefore, that a lot of our schools who fail the NEI inspection would be better off from this. So looking at this, I think this is an excellent policy item, because it allows for the improvement in the system. It allows for teachers to receive incentive. It allows for the schools to have greater access to resources for tech work labs and for performing arts, which most of us don't talk about. But these are the things that help with the holistic development of our students. And so I say a greater look into this policy would be something that I'm pushing for. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you kindly. Now, colleagues all, what is one change you would make to education at the early childhood level, which you believe would be of benefit to all of us as Jamaicans? And I will start with Mrs. Lasanya Harrison. Madam Harrison.
One change.
Had a crystal ball, and you could plug one thing for the early childhood sector.
Wow. The matter of early childhood is so systemic. I don't know. Even government just taking charge of our early childhood facilities and resourcing them as is needed, and assess the children at the early childhood level, those are just beginning, funding early childhood. What about even just paying the teachers at the early childhood level? where it is that they're getting a stipend of 19,000 and 33,000. That is an insult to the founders, those who nurse our children at the early childhood level. I don't know, Mr. Hall, if there is one thing that we can articulate to be fixed at the early childhood level. It needs a overhauling. It needs a systemic review, because if we're going to get anywhere as a nation, we must fix the foundation.
Thank you kindly, Madam Harrison. Dr. Mullins-Nelson, could you say what is one thing you would fix with special needs education and how you believe or envisage that it would impact education?
Very much. So first, a policy. So when you look there, special education is not seen as a specialized discipline. So that's the first thing, and that's where we begin, having it as a specialized discipline. Also funding. So when you look at the challenges that we have in terms of the students that we are getting and how they struggle in terms of the varying learning abilities, it's the funding for special education. It is getting special education as a specialized discipline. It is giving teachers greater support, persons who are already in special education, helping our teachers to understand through professional development, looking at special education, and again, funding is one of the great things that I would look at, and training.
Thank you kindly. Mr. Williams, extracurricular or co-curricular activities have been integral to the advancement of our students in Jamaica. How do you believe that this could be improved, and what would you do should you have that authority?
Co-curricular activities, extremely important in our school system. There are some students that we may lose in the formal classroom, but you connect with them in the extracurricular programs. And when we think of extracurricular programs, we're thinking about the various clubs and societies, we're thinking about the various sporting programs. And we know one race run by Usain Bolt can earn him more than what we earn in a year in one race. And so it provides opportunities for our students. This is personal for me. As the co-curricular coordinator at Manning School and was the Clubs and Societies coordinator at the Michael University College, this is right up my alley. I'm one of those individuals who have always worked in that area because I understand the importance of this. There are certain soft skills and life skills that you don't necessarily learn in the formal classroom, but the core curricular programs allow these students to develop those qualities that the world so badly needs, the workplace so badly needs. And so we, of course, and I'll tell you as well, that when you connect with students outside of the formal classroom, you tend to gain their respect, you understand them more, and they will learn because they can relate, they can actually relate to you. Now, I don't know if it's as president, but of course as president, I believe that teachers understand. And I'll tell you as well that at the MICO, I was the one who passed that rule that a teacher in training cannot graduate unless they join a club. Because I understand that teachers who are going into the classroom must work with a core curricular program so we can have the school better off. And so, of course, it's already in the system, but it's just to encourage more teachers and the administrators to empower, and of course the teachers who are selected, we can empower them as well in terms of, you know, certain skills so they can better able to relate and work with our young people. So of course I endorse more core curricular programs in the school because it makes the education system better off. Thank you.
I could assist my colleague perhaps as the 62nd president of the Jamaica Teachers Association, the 5th who will be the second-time president, that we could lobby for the implementation on a timetable basis for all schools where every child is guaranteed, because what happens currently is that some children live really far, and are coming out of my own experience at high school at Immaculate Conception. It was timetabled, so every child was guaranteed participating in one club activity or another.
Colleagues all.
Systemic wise across the system.
Colleagues all. I am using this facility as an audition. I'm hoping that I'm able to ask some very tough questions so that the media houses may invite me to get paid. So I am now going to ask this very, very tricky one. Because the concept of psychometric testing for entrance to teacher training is a very controversial issue. I am going to ask our candidates to give a 1-minute response to what is your view on psychometric evaluation for entry to teachers' colleges. And I will start with Dr. Nelson.
Thank you for that. So, as you said, it's a very controversial matter because we have had the conversation at the college level about it. In terms of a view, because I have to pull from data, it is not practice across the world. It's not a best practice across the world. However, in terms of a personal view, I think that we should engage or we should do it, but we have to manage how we do it because from the college level, sometimes what we see, some behaviors we see displayed, we're not sure if that is the sort of behavior that we'd want to see going out into the school system. So I say we have to be I'm very cautious and guided by how I respond. Because I said I have to use data, what is done around the world. It's not something that is practiced because it could be infringing on persons' rights. But I think in some cases, it should be done where we see, I want to call it maladaptive or behavior that is not aligned to what we want to get into the teaching system.
Thank you, Dr. Nelson. Madam Harrison.
Controversial indeed. Whoa, Mr. Hall and colleagues, there are those persons who would have entered teachers' colleges as a stepping stone, but they have stayed for generations and they have made great impact. There are those who thought teaching was their calling, and they've later found out, because if we survey private sector, quite a few of them started out as teachers, but they realized that the system, this is not for me. It's a touch and go. And especially when it is, I'm not saying that we should take any and everybody, because when I was at college, I did advocate that if you got a certain grade, that perhaps you should not matriculate out in the system because we want our best to remain. But the truth again is, you may be a straight A profile, but you're not the best methodology person. Yes? So it is one that would need more careful thought and research before we were to make such a decision, especially in a time when we don't have enough people entering in the teaching profession. So yes, it needs more thought and reflection.
Thank you kindly, Madam Harrison. Mr. Williams, what is your view on psychometric testing?
I'm thinking about it. I don't believe that there's one solution to it. My views are mixed. So as much as somebody would have passed a psychometric test, it doesn't mean that it's a true reflection of their capabilities. There are others who would have failed, who it doesn't mean that they were not capable either. And so I don't believe that it gives a complete 100% reflection of the individual's capabilities. But what I believe should happen, that within the tertiary or teacher training institution, is that support is provided for all entrants. They are monitored, and for those who need some form of support, that the support is provided. Because we know that there are some brilliant minds out there, but if you check the stats, they're not healthy in other areas. Emotionally, they may not be healthy, but academically, they're brilliant. And they will go into that classroom and make a big difference. And so I believe that is something that requires careful consideration and, of course, support. Thank you.
Thank you kindly. I did my best at trying to put a hard question. Do we have any other questions from the audience? There have been... Yes.
Boys before girls. Pleasant afternoon, everyone.
I am the individual who will decide, and as far as I am concerned, it is beauty before the beast. So I will move it to the lady in white.
Thank you.
With all due respect, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Now, my question is a little bit direct. The question is being posed to Mrs. Harrison. Now, the question was asked before. I'm not sure. Well, I don't feel like I got an answer. So I'm asking this specifically. I don't want to know about the court case itself. I want to know, providing that you are the next president, if it is that you will withdraw the case that you have against us. That's my question.
Colleagues all, while that is a very valid question, it is not one that I am prepared to countenance at this time. Therefore, Mr. Okishu, could you pose your question?
Thank you, moderator. Pleasant afternoon, colleagues. Okeshu Okino Odingo Bigby is the name. Chairman
Had I known
Sports
you were going
Committee.
to say your name, I would not have given you the floor.
All right, the question I want to ask the candidates, following the last compensation package, there are a number of members who we saw an uptick in a number of members opting to leave the association, withdrawing membership, and on the ground there's an air that the association is a little disconnected with its ground members. The DAs in particular are complaining widely about the visibility of the association at the local level. To all candidates, what are your plans to re-engage and re-energize the base of our association? Thank you.
And in answering that question, I will start with the gentleman first.
Ooh. The root of the Jamaica Teacher Association are district associations. As I travel across Jamaica, of course I would have had those experiences and I would have had to deal with them because currently I'm the parish president and there are 7 district associations within my parish. So I understand. The structure of the JTA has regional officers. And I must say, for the region that I'm in, my regional officer has made himself available to attend DA meetings, whether it be physically or online. I think a part of the challenge sometimes is some of the persons who take up leadership within the district association. That's a part of the challenge. Because my regional officer has made himself available. So of course, we'll encourage the regional officers, all regional officers, to make themselves available to the district associations. Even if you're not invited, invite yourself. Go in, provide that support. I think education is also important because some members just talk, but they really don't understand. And they take second-hand information. And of course, we want to empower. And yes, we have regional training, etc. But we have to do more training. We have to constantly do more. Because the DA is the grassroots, and we cannot allow the grassroots to die.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Dr. Mullins-Nelson, how would you re-energize our base?
Thank you for that. So I serve as the president of the staff association at the MICO. And one of the things that we spoke about from the get-go was visibility. The staff want to see us in action. And so one of the things I believe is that the top tier of the JTA, along with the parish president, the DA, and also the regional officers must make themselves visible. One, in visiting schools, having town hall meeting, just spontaneous visits to schools to have the check-in with persons, but also the use of social media. And I think communication is a big thing, because I'm in a particular group, and a lot of times I hear the teachers speaking about the silence and everything is shrouded in silence. So I think being visible, communicating where we are, for example, even the negotiation process, even if we can't say what is happening, but person want to know, person want to have the confidence in leadership, and that's where I present myself, as that confident leader that will be the voice and also be visible and to communicate to the heart of our teachers. We pay our dues, and you hear persons say, but I'm paying my 1% and I don't feel as if I'm being serviced. And so I think, again, visibility. Visiting our school, visiting DA meeting, visiting parish meetings, just doing that check, just do some Google Docs, getting information from the school. What is happening in your school? How can we help you? What are some of the challenges? You know, schools have their staff meetings, they have their PD sessions. Find out about this. Visit the schools, participate in PD session, and just let the teachers feel that sense of warmth and that concern, because people want to know if you care. And I think that's where I think we're losing the battle. That person don't think that we really care.
Thank you, Dr. Nelson. Madam LaSonia Harrison, how would you re-energize our base?
The teacher is the JTA. The teacher is the JTA. There's a little ornogram that we don't circulate much anymore, that the membership is at the head of the Jamaica Teachers Association. And the face of that membership in every school is the chief union delegate, the contact teacher. And we must seek to re-empower our contact teachers on the ground. When we empower those persons, every day a contact teacher goes into a school, the principal should say, the JTA is here. The JTA is here. And so strengthening our contact teachers, I would have done as president, had a spin to the study circle where it was the contact teachers that were targeted to be trained as study circle conveners, strengthening that tool of the JTA as well, that of the study circle, because the JTA is as strong as the knowledge of the teacher. And so it is important also, while as president would want to expand the training of the industrial relations specialists on the ground, building on the future leaders. I would have built on their skill set, certification, and that's how we are strengthening. One of the projects I had that was shelved, cancelled as president, was that of the inaugural JTA quiz competition. All 78 district associations would have participated in that activity. That will certainly help with building the knowledge of the member of the association. And as we build the capacity of each member, then the Jamaica Teachers Association will continue to grow from strength to strength. We must get back to the people, in addition to continuing the very regional consultations that the president, that was also an item on my mandate, to continue as it is, that we empower the people, talk with the people, and have those. I believe also that after every general council or after every meeting with the Ministry of Education, we can have some direct lives and contact with the people out there, with the teachers, with the membership, to continue to keep them informed and abreast of what it is that we're doing and representing their interests. And the president must be out there, use the media. Just as how the Ministry of Education is telling their side of the story, the president must always tell the side and the story of the teacher.
Thank you kindly, Madam LaSonia Harrison. I'm very happy that you mentioned the quiz. As an alumni of Titchfield, I can tell you that I would press my button now and say fried rice and fish. Good, good. We are now coming to the end of this beautiful afternoon, this session, and we're going to give our candidates 1 minute just to put the icing on the cake. And we will go in reverse order. Madam Timekeeper, where's my timekeeper? Timekeeper has retired. I will keep time this time. We're going to give the candidates 1 minute to put the icing on the cake. And please be reminded, when your minute has ended, I will take your mic and usher you out. So, Mr. Williams, your minute begins now.
Colleagues from the north, colleagues from the south, colleagues from the west, colleagues from the east, just in case you haven't gotten that vision yet, just sleep on the other side tonight. And tomorrow, you will know that your next president will be Jermaine Williams, one who would have prepared himself over the last 15 years for leadership, would have served at all levels. I know you will do the right thing. I'm one that is transparent, one that is accountable, one that will listen at all levels. Colleagues, I look forward to your support as I become your next president. Thank you very much.
That is lovely. Colleagues all, our next speaker, Dr. Maureen Mullins-Nelson, your minute begins now.
Colleagues, at every level, early childhood, the primary, special education, secondary, tertiary, I present myself as the next president of this great organization. I come like David, armed with advocacy, courage, and action. My 5 stones that I present as your next president is salary negotiation, equity, wellness, teacher development, and the legacy of this great association. I present myself as that quiet storm, but I have a great history of transformation, of great leadership, and making an impact everywhere I go. Maureen Mullins-Nelson, the woman for the job.
Thank you kindly. And to bring the curtains down, Mrs. LaSonia Harrison, your minute begins now.
Trustworthy, reliable, uncompromising, spiritually anchored in Christ. Colleagues, and that is critical. Spiritually anchored in Christ. Yes, very, very important. Transparent, exemplary, and dependable. The voice of the teacher, representing the heart of the teacher. No question about it. Never in the history of the JTA has there been a twice rejection of an offer from the teachers of this nation. If we stand together, we can accomplish much. The education system needs fixing. The voice to represent that and more of ensuring that you receive what it is our fair due. It's time for the teacher to be respected. It's time for the teachers' voices to be heard. And so I will continue to do same. Every blessing to you, my colleagues.
Thank you kindly, Madam Harrison. Colleagues all, the JTA still remains the biggest, the best, and the brightest of our minds across the island to vie for leadership. I want to, on your behalf, thank all our candidates for availing themselves of this opportunity and this responsibility, and wish them well. On the 3rd week of June, you will determine the future of Jamaica, the future of the Jamaica Teachers Association, and the future for all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, this session comes to an end. For those of you who did not check out of your rooms, they have already locked you out. So you have heard that from Dr. Anderson. You should pass by him to collect your due rewards to take to the front desk. Colleagues all, safe journey home. I am asking that you just bow your heads while we ask our resident pastor, the Reverend Leon Nash, to pray for safe. Oh, I apologize profusely. What I'm asking Mr. Nash to do is to come to have our presenters as well as the raffle. Mr. Nash, colleagues all.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and thank you so much for your patience. I will definitely do purrs at the end, but at this time we have our exhibitors who we are asking to be very, very brief in terms of their comments and presentation, the giveaways that they're going to be doing because of time. We would have been leaving at this time, so Tip Friendly Society will be first, followed by Book Zone, followed by JTA Cooperative Credit Union, Sagicor, Infinity, and the Jamaica Publishing House. All right, so that's the order that I have been given. So we're asking them to come at this time. And once again, please put your hands together for the candidates as they have left us. Come on, a big round of applause. They did well on stage. And they are going out now into the field to continue to ask for your support. So at this time, let's welcome Tip Friendly Society to come and do their quick presentation, followed by Book Zone, followed by JTA Cooperative Credit Union, followed by Sagicor, followed by Infinity, and Jamaica Publishing House will close that section. Are they ready? Are they still here? If not, we will move on to the next. All right. I see gifts coming through, but is Tip Friendly Society ready? All right. Will you come, Mr. President, and stand for them? All right. We have them coming through, I'm told. They are hearing us on the outside. Remember, come on quickly, please. Come on quickly. Go to somebody else. All right. Book Zone, are you ready? Okay.
Yes. All of you who have your raffle tickets. This is the IT blender with 2 cups. No, not IT, AI. The AI blender with 2 cups. So we are just going. And Vanji, Auntie Vanji, could you come here? Auntie Vanji is able to determine who is the winner. So if you don't have a ticket, you don't have a chance. Anybody who have money and don't have a ticket? If you have money and don't have a ticket, we could still put you in the raffle. All right, cool. So, and the winner is, yes, call it Vanji. The number is 534058. Woo! No, the ticket will have to be assessed by the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission.
4068.
And we have a winner, Miss Karen Gilfillian Morgan. Just one. Next time we will have another thing to wrap. So colleagues, your contribution to the Critical Illness Trust Fund was meant to prepare some funds to assist teachers with welfare for non-communicable diseases, because diabetes, hypertension, these kidney things are very, very expensive. So we are helping ourselves. Thank you.
Okay, so the presentation will be made now to this winner. Give her a big round of applause, please. A big round of applause. That was Tip Friendly Society's giveaway. No, it wasn't tip. Critical illness, I see. All right, I thought they were beckoning that you were the one representing. All right, so we move on. Book Zone, are you ready?
Thank you, Sir Nash. Good afternoon, all protocols observed. My name is Devon Headley. I am the Marketing and Publishing Manager for Book Zone Limited. So, quick minute, Book Zone Limited offers a suite of products and services. And so we have books from preschool right up to high school. We offer service in marketing, distribution, publishing, and we also offer in terms of warehousing support and contract with the ministry. I am going to ask just 2 questions where we can give away 2 of our comprehensive dynamic textbook, grade 6, grade 3. Part of our publishing offering is that we work with classroom teachers who are familiar with the curriculum, who are doing the heavy lifting, who understand what they actually want and the support that they want to assist their children or students. And so we have some dynamic teachers who are writing for us and giving the strong support. Because as a teacher myself, I believe in skill-based learning. I do not like a lot of content, because what we believe in, developing a skill, and they will explore and exploit and find the content themselves. And so I'm going to ask 2 questions quick. Someone can tell me one title that we have on the supplementary list at the grade 6 level. They will earn themselves one of our dynamic CBT book for grade 6. And the next question, if you can tell me a title that we have on the supplementary list at the grade 3 level, you also will earn yourself a gift. Yes? Can you give her a mic, please?
On the grade 6 list, it's building reasoning skills for PEP, book 6.
No, you're not correct. Quick. Lovely book. Look at the book. Quick. I will take it back to Kingston.
It's not working. Oh. PEP practice science workbook 6. And they have the mathematics PEP practice workbook 6 as well.
PEP. No. But she's working hard now. No, I want to give her something, please. Assist her. Let me make it easier for you. Give me a book in grade 6 on the approved list that all public school use from Book Zone Limited. All right, come. I'll give it to you. Come. Yes. Oh, my time is up, so.
All right, so we wait the presentation to be done. That was Book Zone. Is Tip Friendly Society ready now? No? All right, we move on to JTA Cooperative Credit Union. JTA Co-op, please come, followed by Sagicor. And remember, you only have 2 minutes.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mark Thomas. I am the regional manager with the JTA Co-op Credit Union Western, and I have here with me Miss Mays Hales, and she's the regional manager for Manchester and St. Elizabeth, South Central? Right. So, the JTA Co-op Credit Union, it is a premier financial institution for educators and administrators. So if you work, once you work with an educational institution in any capacity, you can become a member of the JTA Co-op Credit Union. Now, how do you become a member and why should you become a member? Now, the JTA Co-op Credit Union, we pride ourselves on the financial institution that gives back to our members. How do we give back? We give you a share of our profits. So all financial institutions use your money to make money, but there are only one that gives you the highest rate, and JTA Co-op Credit Union gives the highest rate on your savings and investments. So you should be a member of the JTA Co-op Credit Union. Also, we have some of the lowest rates as it relates to fees. So when it comes to your account, we don't charge any withdrawal fees, any deposit fees, no minimum balance fees, no account maintenance fees, and we have some of the lowest fees as it relates to loan products and services. We also have great investment products, for example, the Golden Harvest, which gives you a rate of 5.25%. And if you do investments, you'll know that that is a great rate. And the Golden Harvest is a savings, investments, and asset, and it has a free term life insurance all in one. We also have the Teacher Optimizer Plus, which is also a tax-free investment that gives you an interest rate of 6% per annum. You can start with a minimum of $100,000, and you can put that in, leave it for 5 years, and it grows at 6% per annum. Now, our auto loan, it's bubbling, and we have one of the best rates now. We lend for vehicles up to 8 years old, vehicles up to 5 years old, is 100% financing. So come and talk to us to find out how you can drive your dream. And of course, with your personal loans, you can get up to $3 million for any legitimate purpose, and we have a great rate for you. So come and speak to us. To sign up today, all you need to do is just have your ID, your TRN, a minimum $500, and you can sign up today. Now, for persons who did business with us, we have 2 gifts we want to give away. So if you signed up for membership with us, or you took out a product, or you increase your deductions with us, you stand a chance. So Miss Hales is going to shake it up, and we're just going to ask Mr. Nash to draw for us. All right. So we have here, any drum roll? Miss Latoya Reeves. All right, so Miss Hales will come down and do the presentation. Yes. And while she's doing the presentation, give me this. Yes. While she's doing the presentation, we'll do another draw. All right, good. All right, Grace, congratulations. Now for the bigger prize, we have Miss Sharika Williams Maxwell. Are you still in the house? Okay. Yes. So she signed up to be a member of the credit union, and she is taking home. This is actually a Black & Decker. It's a 3-pack combo that's in this. Really, really awesome. So congratulations, Miss Williams. The credit union is always giving back, so feel free to come and see us before you leave.
All right, thank you so much, JTA Cooperative Credit Union. Sagicor. Sagicor, are you ready? Infinity, are you there? All right, Infinity is coming. Let's give her a hand. Give her a hand. Remember, 2 minutes, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Lisa Bent. I am the branch manager for the Harbor Circle and Fairview branch of Infinity Cooperative Credit Union, Jamaica Limited, the second largest credit union that currently exists today. And that is because of you, our valued members, that continues to believe in what we currently have to offer. So we have over 13 branches all island wide with over 178,000 members. We do offer wide cross sections of savings, loans, and insurance. And I can assure you, once you visit us today, you will be getting something from us. It's very easy to become a member of the credit union. You just need your ID, TRN, proof of address, and a minimum of $3,500 to become a member. We offer some of the products that we do offer in terms of savings. We do offer the Diamond Reserve Club. That is for persons who are 50 years and older. We offer the Infinity Gold, which is a medium to long-term saving instrument that offers very, very attractive interest rates. We also do offer the partner plans that a lot of persons are familiar with, and we can now do it from 3 months up to 12 months. We do offer attractive interest rates on our loans. We currently finance up to 10 years old motor vehicle loan. We currently do mortgages. We also do home equities if you so desire, and we also do have the credit line that you can benefit from. So the insurance, we do have the FIP, we do have health insurance that you can also invest in, and I must say we have now been utilizing the online space where you can now pay your bills online, and you can also go in and do your transfers as well. So I invite you to come on over to the Infinity booth and you can get further information from me. If you are so desire, you can also visit our website at infinitycuja.com, or you can make contact with us at 926-6973. But I also invite you to come on over so that you can get something today. Thank you.
Let's hear it for her. Let's hear it for her. Next time when you sign up, you will have gifts coming your way as well. All right, so this time let's take the Jamaica Publishing House. All right, we are wanting to get out of here. We are gone over our time, and I'm going to make one last call for Tip Friendly Society, Sagicor, and JPH. I'm giving you a minute to get inside. If not, we will be closing off. So JPH is coming, and she always comes bearing gifts. And she's got only 2 minutes. Not too sure how she's going to handle that, but let's give her her time. All right. Mrs. Burrell, remember, 120 seconds. And it doesn't start until you get the microphone. Here you go.
Hello, everyone. I'm Prudence Graham-Burrell from the Jamaica Publishing House, and I'm currently the acting manager there. And I'm here to bear gifts, as Mr. Nash says. We have a few persons who visited my booth, and I have 2 baskets that I'm going to give away. And I'm just going to tell you what the Jamaica Publishing House is currently doing. We are adding to our catalog letter and legal size papers. Anyone here aware of that? But can you just show me right? Let me send it back, right? So we need your support, right? All right, so we want you to spread the news for us that the Jamaica Publishing House is adding to their catalog letter and legal size papers. And guess what? It's not only letter and legal size papers, but we want to add stationery items to our catalog. And the next item we are thinking of, can anyone tell me? And if you answer me correctly, I'm going to give you a book. Who said charts? Yes, it's charts. Yes, come, I'm giving you a gift. Come on, give her a clap. Charts, that's the next item we are adding to our catalog. And what do you think about it? Come here quick. What do you think about adding charts to our catalog? Do you think you need that? All right, great. All right, that's okay? Oh. Thank you. All right, you want to do that? All right, let me just continue quick. All right, colleagues, we are also encouraging you teachers, to write for the Jamaica Publishing House. I have a few teachers came to the booth, and you're saying, I'm not seeing that, and I'm not seeing this. But guess what? You are the best. I'm going to finish it, you know. I just love giving away gifts, you know. So I'm just going to start it and you finish it for me. You are the best. All right. And you are the best person to write for. Oh boy, so much you have to give prize right now. But the first 3 persons who come up, I'll give you a token. Wow, wow, great. Right here, Mr. Nash, I want you to go down and give them the gift for me. I will just do the talking and Mr. Nash give the gifts. Right here, these 3 books here. It's a good way of not taking up much time. And colleagues, I want you to follow the Jamaica Publishing House at the Jamaica Publishing House Limited. That's our Facebook and Instagram, all right, pages. Can anyone tell me the Instagram and Facebook page I just mentioned? I just want you to know if you're listening to me. Who want to tell me our Instagram? No one? All right. Pardon me? But there's something before that. Just at the Jamaica, at the back. Come quickly at the back. Okay. All right. Is there anyone that teaches grade 4 math in here? Grade 4 math? Any grade 4 math teacher in here? Is there any grade 4 literacy teacher here? No? Special. Mr. Nash, where are you? Mr. Nash used to give you this book. Yes. No grade 4 teacher, no grade 5. Come special. All right, colleagues, I'm going to call these 3 names. Is it Donna Johnson? Is she still in here? Come quick, Miss Johnson. Is Miss S. Brandt still here? Come quickly. Is Marsha Green still here? Oh, the camera woman. Okay, come, Mr. Nash, come. This is for Marsha. Quickly, that's for Marsha. Come special though. Miss Brandt, who is Miss Brandt? Come, this one is for her. And this one is yours. Quick special ed. All right, I'm going to do the raffle now, Mr. Nash, and I want you to assist me after you give special ed. Okay. Here, Mr. Nash, give her this one. So, Mr. Nash, right there. We want to do the raffle, right? 2 baskets. Marsha, please assist with the basket. Mr. Nash, one. Yes, it's going on top. All right, Mr. Nash is going to raffle. And the 2 persons going to win this basket. And I want you to just continue to support the Jamaica Publishing House. I really thank you so much, colleagues. Mr. Nash, I'll come back for those, okay? Take it off for me, please. All right, the first person is Tamara Lawrence. Is she still here? Woo! Give her a clap, please. Next person. Next person. As you're calling him, just hurry and come, please. Is John Blackwood Simpson still here? Woo! Come on, colleagues. Braille for them.
All right, thank you so much, Jamaica Publishing House, for those presentations. Went way over time, but they've got a lot to give away. Do we have the other 2 presenters coming quickly? Tip Friendly Society is now ready. Please come. Colleagues, don't go. Gifts might be just here for you. They came with the gifts and they do not want to take them back to Kingston, so please hold on. All right. There's a lot. That's why they couldn't have come from the start.
Good afternoon, everyone. All right, so how was everybody's day? Okay, so my name is Kasia. I hail from Kasia Cunningham. I hail from Region 4. Anybody from Region 4? All right. So to join TIP, you need the ID and TRN. We have no minimum deposit, only your ID and TRN. We offer savings. We have a life insurance plan that reimburses your medical expenses due to accidents and surgeries. We pay you in the event that you're out of work due to illness, an accident, or you're hospitalized. And for those who are off, for the gentlemen that are still on the gelding truck, we have paternity benefits for you. Ladies, if you're still doing the business, we offer maternity benefits. And most importantly, our life insurance offers you retirement bonus. So for those of us who are going to be retiring soon, once you're insured under a TIP for life insurance plan, we give you a retirement bonus, all right? Didn't I mention paternity? I did. So we also offer insurance for your children as low as $200, $400, or $600 a month. I don't believe you can buy a patty. It's less than the cost of a patty, right? We also offer insurance for your family members. We have a family indemnity plan. You can insure your family members up to 5 additional family members in the event of death. Lastly, teachers, I want you to go back to school and let your administrative know that we also insure your students and staff for as low as $325 for the entire year. So we cover them for accidental and natural death, accident reimbursement, optical, dental, speech therapy, physical therapy, traveling reimbursement, and much, much more. So for less than the cost of a patty, you can insure your students who sometimes are accident prone against those events. And we cover them from September to the very last day in August. And the school receives up to 7.5% rebate. That money can be used back into your school, right? All right, so just to also let you know that for our members, we'll be hosting our annual general meeting in Kingston on May 24th. It's a Saturday. It should be around the time as Labor Day. So come out with your colleagues. Come to Kingston. We offer free transportation. You get a nice breakfast and lunch. Tokens are there as well. And you come and learn exactly how much dividends you'll be getting paid this year, right? For those of us who are not yet members, it is totally free, ladies. Just bring your ID and your TRN. And for the gentlemen who want to come on board, just come outside and with your ID and TRN and come open up an account with us. We have savings. We have insurance. We offer loans after 6 months. We offer scholarships to those who are studying. Undergraduate and postgraduate after 1 year. We pay your dividends after 1 year. Hey, enough more benefits with it, don't? Lots. So let's get this raffle started now. Can somebody help me? Come and shake. Shake to the max. All right, so for those who did business with us today, for the new members, Miss, you can't come up here and say you're not winning. You have to think positively, right? Shake it to the max, guys. And the winner, I want you to come and shake it to the max, right? All right. For those who decided to join TIP today. Where's that? What's that? Okay. Mr. Nash, choose one. I don't want you to blame me. Positive thinking. So, this person hails from, which school is this? Is that E-Learning. E-Learning. Dorothy Thompson. Ladies and gentlemen, give her an applause for me, please. She literally is the last person that signed up with us. Give her a clap, ladies and gentlemen. Miss, you're supposed to shake it to the max. Miss, you're not shaking it to the max. I don't think she knows we're shaking it to the max. All right.
That is good. That is good.
Come on, let's hear it for her. Let's hear it for her. She's very happy. Right? She's even looking for somebody to take her photograph. All right. All right, so we're wrapping up. For those, we're still inside. We're still doing the live stream. We're still on it. And persons are in Jamaica and the world are watching us and seeing that we are giving away gifts here. And here comes her grand, right, coming in to be part of the photographing. All right, we go. Next photograph, next one, next draw. You have another one to give away?
No, different one. Congratulations again, Mrs. Thompson. Congratulations to you. All right, for those of our existing members, we acknowledge you all the time. We thank you so much for your business and your continued support. And for those of you guys who did business today, this one is for you. Shake it. All right, come, Mr. Mash. No, man, for the over the 3-day period. So, Simon Primary and Miss, me never finish. All right, so it's Stacy and Bedford. Come, Miss Hunt, shake it to the max. Shake it to the max. Lord, shake it to the max. She did. All right. She knew she won before I even finished. All right, so congratulations to you, Mrs. Hunt. Ladies and gentlemen, please give her a hand. Congratulations and thank you for your support with TIP. I have a special prize. Where's the name? If these two people are not in the room, I will have to do another drawing, all right? But we have a special prize is Mr. Rayon Simpson here. And you know he's my principal from Region 4 though. So guess what? Region 4, I'm sorry. I have to move on. Santana Simmons? No. She gone? So guess what? We're going to do a few more draws, right? Come, miss. Shake it up. You draw. Yes, your turn to draw. All right, so the final person is from Monique College. I saw her earlier. She was in a tan shirt. Oh, you mean Miss Muffet? Congratulations. That is it, sir. She had her eyes on the karaoke machine. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for all who participated this week. We look forward to seeing you in your schools. Thank you and have a lovely weekend.
All right, let's hear it for Tip Friday Society. Thank you so much. And we want to, our final presenter is from Sagicor. She's going to be quick. And we get out of here. Come on up.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, me know done. I want to go home now. Worse, we have already checked out. But first of all, it is very, 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 very important of us to tell JTA thanks for having us here. It was good. And I must say that the teachers at this conference, you make me want to come every single conference that there is, right? No. So big up yourself, which is true. Now, what we loved about our booth for this conference specifically was the openness of all the members of JTA who they came by, and they were very much open to check to see what is happening within their portfolio. Because what we have realized is that time and time again, and I will always speak of this, is that sometimes we don't think it is important because you might take out something when you just started working and then you think that that is enough. No, we always, and we will always encourage you to check to see what is happening. Just telling us that, yeah man, I have something with Sagicor, it is not enough. Because we know that our money at work, I mean, you're not talking about the P and all of these things. We understand that chances are when you had started teaching, you might started with the bare minimum. But what we have realized, and especially in my office, is that critical illness, it has been on the rise, especially for us females, because enough things we carry, And because of that, we realize now, especially at Sagicor, just 2024 alone, we have paid over $100 million worth of critical illness claim. And so far for this year, we are climbing in double digits. So I will encourage you. We're not come and talk about loans and all of this, but I will forever sit and ensure that you have the correct amount of critical illness coverage. I know I said I would not be long, but I have to share this story with you. For the younger ones who are here, I was a teacher before. And just recently, I had a client who came by my office. She's just 28. And when she came by, she went and she did her mammogram, went to the doctor. And guess what they found out that she has? Breast cancer. And they had even told her that she did not need to do a mammogram. So I'm not saying that to scare anyone, but I'm just encouraging you. Ensure you have the proper critical illness coverage. $1 million can't do it. $2 million is still not enough. You need to look in ensuring that you have the right amount of coverage. Now for the males here, you may think that you're invincible and still a shot on the bullet good, but you also need to ensure that you have the correct amount of coverage too. We are still here. If you still want to do your policy reviews, you can come by our little table. We will check it for you, and if we are also able to offer any further assistance, we will do that. All right? So once again, thank you for having us.
Let's hear it for Psychometric, ladies and gentlemen, in the room. Those who are still watching online, we appreciate your patience. Let's put our hands together for all the exhibitors. Tip Friendly Society. Let's hear it for Tip Friendly Society. Let's hear it for Book Zone. Let's hear it for JTA Cooperative Credit Union. Let's hear it for Sagicor. Let's hear it for Infinity. Let's hear it for the Jamaica Publishing House, ladies and gentlemen. Please stand as we bring this session to a close. Thanking you on behalf of our president, Dr. Mark Smith, and the hierarchy of presidents, as well as Dr. Mark Nicely and the JTA staff members who are working hard in the secretariat, and those who did their job before this conference started. Everyone who assisted in making this conference a success, we thank you so much for having come, and you will be better off for having been here. For those who did not come, please plan for the next conference. Oh, I should tell you that Education Week is coming up in the month of May, the first week in May. That's May 4 to 10. Please ensure that you go on out and participate as much as possible in the activity. The church service for Education Week will be at the Methodist Church in May Pen, and that's going to be on the 4th. Then on Tuesday, it's Read Across Jamaica Day. On Wednesday, will be Teachers Day across Jamaica. On Thursday, will be the JTA Helen Stills Professional Development Day from the Pegasus in Kingston. And we expect and hope that our corporate friends, persons in business, will host activities for the teachers to close off the week. Of course, we know that we have those who worship on Sunday and those who worship on Saturday. So the last Saturday in the month, in the week rather, is left for our Adventist friends to also have their services across the island. And finally, the JTA is hosting an educational tour to Singapore, and this will be from July 14 to 17. The cost may look very high, but if you know where you're going and what's involved, then I would say go to Tip Friendly Society, go to the JTA Cooperative Credit Union, any of those, Infinity, Sagicor, and I get some assistance in terms of you going to this particular tour. That's a Singapore tour. Tour to Singapore, July 14 to 17. If you need additional information, please go to the Secretariat before it's closed, or call the JTA office in Kingston, or any of the regional offices in Northeast, in West, in South Central, as well as in Southeast. Bow your heads with me. Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for bringing us together for these days that we have been here. And so, God, at this time, we are closing off this education conference, and we are, God, hoping and trusting that all persons who have come and traveling by road or whatever means there was their transportation to be here, Lord, that their safety, oh God, will be guaranteed by your angels that you are dispatching right now, oh God, to take full control of the vehicles in which they will travel. We pray and hope, God, that they will reach their destination safely, and at the end of the day we'll be mindful to give you the praise and to give you the honor. Thank you, God, for hearing our prayer, who have taught us when we pray to say, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those that trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Have a good Thursday evening, and look forward to seeing you again at another JTA activity somewhere at another place, another time. Remember now that annual conference is going to be at where? Where will annual conference be? Come on, shout it out loud. Where annual conference is going to be where? At a place that starts with the wonderful lady's name, Princess. All right, over there in Hanover. Make your plans and preparations for that. This is where it's all going to end, right? And we thank all those of you who have been here participating in the activity. Blessings, 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 and more blessings. If you have lost your glasses, then please ensure that you come and collect it from me. I think it belongs to Dr. Nelson. Thank you so much. Safe travel home, everybody. To God be the glory.